lights, cameras in my face. Hands on the stand, trying to plead her case. Said it was love, but it smelled like a scheme. Trading a husband for a teenage dream. Hands on trial, scandals burning hot. Teacher with a plan, but she got caught. Hands on trial, verdict in the air. Justice is coming, better say your prayer. Hands on trial. Whispers loud, jury's taking notes. Star witness, kids in their Sunday coats. Bang of a gavel, lies start to crawl. She wanted romance, he ended it all. Hands on trial, scandals burning hot. Teacher with a plan, but she got caught. Hands on trial, verdict in the air. Justice is coming, better say your prayer.
What is up, everyone? Before we get started, I'm gonna mess around with this because I want to show this because I think it's funny. And do our little pledge, which is I do solemnly swear to be a he-man and strongly dislike women and not play with them or talk to them unless I have to. That's all. I just wanted to share that. Now I have to figure out how to get back to the other screen. Okay. All right. We're going to do...
I promise nothing.
I promise absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So, say hi to everybody. Hello, Flash fan. Thank you so much for the love and support. Hello, Frankie. No, you're not too premature. Trust me, I've been in here for over like 30 minutes. So you get it. I know there was another one. Hello, Lavi. Good to see you. So we're going to go ahead and finish up part 3 with Billy Flynn, the perpetrator's testimony today. I know that I'm throwing the schedule off quite a bit of what it normally is that my mom does. I just wanted to make it, because his was in 3 parts, I didn't want there to be, a couple days gap in between watching it. Hello, Brandy. So we're going to go ahead and finish up his testimony today. It is about hour and 22 minutes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. If I remember how to do it. Clicking buttons that I shouldn't be clicking. Before I hit play, I'm going to tell you it might just be really loud in my ears, but if you have headphones on, at the very, very beginning, it does kind of make a loud sound, so just be ready. And if I need to adjust the volume or anything, put it in the chat and I'll mess with it. You noticed no, I missed that. I like that one. I like that name. So, recap. Yesterday, there was a couple things that he had said.
Wait a minute. Frankie just gave you and Cheyenne a celebrity name.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't notice the first one that he said.
How would you say it? Carmenet?
It sounds like a wine.
I know. I love it.
I like it too. But there's a few things that kind of stuck out to me yesterday during his testimony. Just things that kind of showed how smart he was. Let me take this off the screen real quick. Having the wits about him to put tape over like his fingerprints and then put a glove on. And then, with taking like the light bulb out of the socket and it's like, oh, well, no, because that could show, if we got caught, that could show premeditation, just all of these things. And then when they asked him, did you want to testify? And he said, no. And they asked him why. He's like, I love her. I'm like, this child. I'm like, it just shows all the manipulation and grooming that she did to him. And I mean, but at the end of the day, he did pull the trigger, his accomplice and like the accomplices, they did do this. Like it doesn't matter that you're a child. There is still consequences for your actions. But alrighty, let's get rolling on this.
About this morning and received by Sarah, your co-pilot. Were these letters written by you to the defendant, by the defendant to you?
Him to me.
After the murder, how often were you seeing the defendant once she'd come back to school?
Every day.
Where would you be seeing her?
Media center. At her house.
How far was her house from the school?
Half mile.
How would you get to her house?
Well, a couple of times I went to the media center after school and we drove there, and then a couple of times I just walked there.
Did you ever spend the night at her house in Hampton?
Yes.
Now, did you ever discuss with the defendant the details of what happened that night on May 1st?
No.
Why not?
For one, I didn't want her to know, and for two, she didn't want to know.
Why didn't you want to know?
Why didn't she want to know?
Right.
Well, because I'm sure she didn't want to know how, the details and stuff.
Why didn't you want to tell her?
I didn't want her to have to know about it.
Did there ever come a time when JR or Pete got their $500?
No.
Is there any discussions with the defendant concerning payment?
Yes.
Can you tell me about those?
All right, well, a couple times in the media center when JR would come over. And one particular time when Pam had brought the truck down because she was going to sell it.
Brought the truck to where?
JR's house. And she was going to sell it, and she wanted me to take the radio out for her so she can keep the radio because it was Kenwood. It's a nice radio. And so she brought it down, and JR ended up taking it out. And in the truck are two Kenwood truck speakers, and they're nice speakers. And JR wanted those, and he said, you ought to give these to me. And she was saying no, and she wanted them. And then JR said, well, if you give them to me, you can knock off $250 off the charge, off the payment. And she still said no, because she said that if she gave them to him, she wouldn't want one of her friends saying, we're the truck speakers. And then she'd have to say, well, I gave them to this kid, JR. So he suggested that she give them to him to take $250 off, and if anyone asked her about it, all she had to say was that he was getting a job. Well, I don't even think she was going to say that, just that he had a job, and he was paying her a little bit a week.
Who was present for that conversation?
Pete Randall, Vince Latimer, Pam, and myself.
Where was Pete Randall during this conversation?
Well, he didn't like Pam that much, so he was there, and he was in the house too, so I don't know if he was there for the whole conversation or not.
Where was the conversation taking place?
Outside in the driveway, right in Pam's truck.
You said that Pete didn't like Pam so much. How did you know that?
Because he told me.
Now, these conversations that took place in the media center about payment, who were present for those?
JR, myself, I believe Cecilia was there a couple of times, and Pam.
Do you know why payment wasn't paid?
Do I know why?
Yeah, why weren't they ever paid?
Because we got arrested.
And when did you get arrested?
June 11th.
So what happened between May 1st and June 11th that prevented them from getting paid?
Well, she wanted to wait a little while before she started paying, and she was only going to pay him a little bit at a time, so there wouldn't be,
I do want to apologize for like the screen and stuff, that's not on my end. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just the camera feed at that time. But I know it can get a little annoying and kind of hurt your eyes a little bit. So I do apologize for that.
$1,000 missing out of the account.
So up to the time that you'd gotten arrested, except for the speakers, no payment was made to JR or Pete, is that correct?
Except for the speakers. JR did end up getting the speakers because I talked to Pam about it.
Right. Besides that, no other payment?
No.
You never received anything?
No.
Now, let's talk about how you got arrested. I'd like to bring your attention to June 10th, 1990. Remember that day?
Yes.
What happened on that day?
Well, I had spent the night at Pam's that night, and
Now, when you say you had spent the night, do you remember what day of the week it was on June 10th?
Sunday, I believe.
And when you say you had spent the night, you mean the previous night?
Yes.
Now, where were you? So this is clear.
I was at Pam's house in Hampton.
This is the new apartment.
Yes.
And after spending the night, what happened?
Well, we woke up and we were still in bed, and JR, I heard the motorcycle pull up, so I knew it was JR and Pete. And they were knocking on the door, right? So I figured, well, they'll just go away, after a minute. Then they started banging on the door. So I got mad and I got up. I put some sweatpants on and I went downstairs, and I opened the door, and I could just tell by, the look on the face and everything, something was wrong.
Okay, I'm just asking you to slow down a little bit, speak a little bit louder. Anyone hear Lori? Now, when you went downstairs, did you go downstairs alone?
Yes, I did.
And after you opened the door, what happened?
Well, JR and Pete were saying, listen, we got to talk to you. Ralph's flipped out. He's going to go to the police. Pete told him everything.
And where was the defendant at this time?
Upstairs.
Did there come a time when the defendant came downstairs?
About 10, 15 minutes after that, because I opened the garage for him. They put the motorcycle in there, and then they came upstairs with me. And
What conversations took place with the defendant present?
what conversations? Well, when she'd come down, she asked what was going on. We told her, JR said, Pete told Ralph everything, and they got in a big fight. And Ralph's gonna go to the police, and we don't know what to do. We got to get our story straight. We got to talk to Raymond.
What was the defendant's reaction when she was given that information?
She wasn't too happy.
What happened after that?
Well, they wanted me to call Ralph and talk to him. So I called Ralph, and I said, well, what's going on, Ralph? And he said, I know what you guys did. Petey told me everything.
What did you say to Ralph?
I told him it wasn't true. I said that there was a rumor going around in Seabrook that I had done it, that me and Pam were involved, and that Petey and JR figured that if Ralph thought I did do it, he wouldn't say anything. He'd protect me. But if Ralph thought I didn't do it, it was just a rumor, he might talk about it, saying, did you hear about this rumor going on?
So what did you say to Ralph?
I told him it wasn't true. I said, it's not true. And I said, don't say anything, because if Pam finds out that there's a rumor going around that I did this, then she's gonna, she's not gonna be able to see me anymore, because people, if they see us together, might think it's true.
Where was the defendant when you were having this conversation with Ralph?
About 3 feet away from me.
Was she saying anything to you?
No.
After you had spoken to Ralph, what happened next?
JR called Raymond Fowler, and he was in Maine.
Why was Raymond Fowler called?
Because he was involved in this, and JR called him and told him that he had to come down because, Ralph's going to the police, and we had to get our story straight.
So when after JR told Raymond Fowler to come down and get your story straight, what happened next?
Well, JR went to Tug's Field, it's right by the high school, and to wait for him. And they're gonna pick him up there and he's gonna bring him back on the motorcycle, but he never showed up. So JR came back, called him again, and then went back to Tuxfield, and he still never showed up.
So how long were you at the apartment for this time? How long has it been since JR and Pete first got there?
20 minutes.
So then how far in Maine was Raymond Fowler from Tuxfield?
I have no idea. I just know he was in Maine staying at a friend's house.
So then what happened?
Well, Raymond never came because I guess he had already gone to the police before then, or that day. And
Were there any other phone calls made?
not that I can remember, no.
Okay, what happened after that?
After that, all right, we got into Pam's car and we drove to Seabrook.
Who got into Pam's car?
Me, Pete, and JR.
Where was the defendant?
I don't remember this very well, so I'm just trying to remember it. Yeah.
Take a moment.
All right. Well, she was in the car. She was driving.
Okay, so now when you say she's in the car driving, the four of you were in the car?
Yes.
What happened to the motorbike?
We left it at Pam's house.
How were you feeling at this time?
Scared.
Who was driving?
Pam,
Where were you sitting?
front passenger seat,
JR and Pete were where?
in the back.
Now when you say the defendant's car, it's the CRS.
Yes, it is.
So where do you go in Seabrook?
Well, we went to JR's house, or I think we went to the little store. And JR went to his house because he was gonna, what was he gonna do? He was gonna check on something, I can't remember what. And, but what happened after that is Pam drove us back to her house. And on the way back there, because we told her, the cops could be looking for us right now, we don't know what to do. And she said, well, then get out of the car because I don't want anything to do with you if, the cops are coming.
Where were you when the defendant said to get out of the car?
Right by your house in Hampton.
How'd that make you feel?
It's not very good.
When JR went to his house, check on something, you were up at the store. Where was the defendant?
She had left, I believe it was because Cecilia's mother was at the laundromat by the store.
And how long was she gone for?
I don't remember.
So then she comes back at some point?
Yeah, she picked us up, and that's when we were going back to her house.
Now when she picked you up, where did she pick you up?
At the little store, I think.
Why do you say I think?
I don't remember that one.
And what do you remember after her coming back?
I remember her saying that she didn't want anything to do with us if we were going to get, if the police were, after us now.
Did you get out of the car at that point?
I don't believe so, no.
What happened after that?
Well, we went to Pam's house, and JR and Pete got the road bike, and they left. And I was still at Pam's house, and they were going to come back in the car and pick me up at the school. And so,
Why were they going to pick you up at the school?
because Pam didn't want them coming over to the house now.
When you say you picked them up at the school, where was the school in relationship to the defendant's house?
About 200 yards away.
Did you leave her apartment?
Yes,
Where did you go?
to the school.
And what happened after that?
Well, I got to the school, and I waited about 15, 20 minutes later. JR and Pete picked me up. And we were going to take off. We started going to Connecticut.
Now, when they picked you up, what car did they pick you up in?
Pete's mother's car.
Had you ever seen that car before?
Yeah.
How long were you in Connecticut for?
2 hours.
Where did you go in Connecticut?
Well, we went to Pete's aunt's house first. Talked to her. And I guess we were going to stay there for a couple of days or something. And I guess we went to the little store, and I guess Pete's grandfather had seen us and called Pete's dad and said, are they supposed to be here? Are they supposed to have a car? And he said, no, they're not. And if they don't get back by 9 o'clock, we're going to call the Connecticut State Police.
How do you know all this?
Pete told me.
How long did it take you to get to where you were in Connecticut?
Oh, I don't really remember.
And after this conversation, did you stay in Connecticut or did you go back?
After this conversation, well, we'd gone to the store, came back, and we made some phone calls. Pete called his mom and dad, and his mom, and Jack called his mom and dad.
Did you call anyone?
No, I didn't.
Had you spoken to anyone in your family prior to going to Connecticut?
Not that day, no.
Now, you mentioned that you were at the little store when you were in Connecticut. Is that a store different than the store on Collins Street?
Yeah, it's just a store in Connecticut, like a gas station, convenience store.
Now, did you go back to Seabrook any comment that day?
That day, yeah.
So, how long were you in Connecticut for before you came back?
I'd say about 2 hours.
What happened when you got back to Seabrook?
Well, they dropped me off at my house, and they left. And I was going into my house. My mother came out, and I guess Jared's mother had called her because she knew about it. She asked me if I needed a lawyer, and she said, "And I want you to go upstairs and talk to Kenny."
Why talk to Kenny?
He's a friend of the family's.
Did you talk to Kenny that night?
Yes, I did.
Besides talking to Kenny, what else did you do?
No, before I went up to talk to Kenny, I went in my room, and because my mother told me to get everything out of the room that has to do with Pam. So I went in there and I got the letters, and the pictures, and the passes, and the metal thing that we got from Salisbury.
And what did you do with all that stuff?
And I put it in a brown paper bag and gave it to my mother.
What else did you do that night?
Well, after that, I went upstairs to talk to Kenny, and he told me he knew a really good lawyer, and that he was going to call him.
I'm gonna object to all here, second.
Don't tell us what I'll withdraw the question.
Pardon?
I'll withdraw the question.
All right.
Why don't you just tell us, instead of telling us what was said, did you go anywhere else that night?
Yes, I went to Haverhill to stay at my uncle's house that night.
And who was your uncle?
Bill Atwood.
And why did you stay there?
Just to get out of Seabrook
And how long did you stay there?
one night.
And what happened the next day?
When I got up, my Uncle Bill owned a couple houses that he was getting ready to sell, and I went over there with him, and I was helping him with that, and I told him what was going on and what had happened and everything. And when we got back from there, my mother was at his house, and we went back to Seabrook, and I went over to Jared's house.
And besides talking to your Uncle Bill, did you talk to anyone else about what was going on?
Just Kenny and my Uncle Bill.
And when you went to Seabrook, what time did you get back to Seabrook on Monday?
On Monday, afternoon.
What happened when you got back to Seabrook?
Well, JR came over in his mother's car, and my mother wasn't home. I don't know where she was. She might have been upstairs at Kenny's. And we went back to JR's house.
Who was at JR's house at that time?
When I got back there, Pete and his mother came over, and JR's mother and father, JR, and myself.
And what happened after that?
Well, we just stayed in the house, sat around, talking and stuff, and then we decided, to get out of the house, so we went to the movies.
Why did you decide to get out of the house and go to the movies?
I don't know. Really nervous, didn't want to just sit there.
How was Mrs. Laddie and Mrs. Randall at JR's house?
They were upset.
Was your mother there?
No, she wasn't.
Do you know what time you went to the movies?
7:30, I think it was. Yeah, it was 7:30 showing.
And who went to the movies with you?
Pete and JR. JR's mother drove us over.
And what happens at the movies, if anything?
Well, we watched Total Recall. Came back out. I bought us tickets for another 48 hours. As we were going into that, JR's mother came up and said they have warrants for your arrest. So we said, all right.
Now, when you say JR's mother came out or mentioned it or said they had warrants for your arrest, is anyone with her?
Pete's mother, but she was in the car.
So after you were given this information by Mrs. Latimer, what happened next?
Well, we got in the car and we went to JR's house, and I gave her my necklace and my earring and sunglasses and stuff. And then we drove over to the police station, and that's when we got arrested.
Now, had you ever had any discussions with the defendant? What to do if you were ever arrested?
You know, I told her not to worry, you know, because she'll never be brought up. And she said, you know, we're only juveniles, so the longest we could be locked up is till we're 18. And that's about it.
And when and where were these conversations?
Well, the day that, June 10th, when I was, the day that Pete and JR left on the motorcycle after they had told us everything, and we went to Seabrook and back, and I was at Pam's house with just Pam.
What did it mean that if you were a juvenile, you know, be in jail till you were 18?
It means because I was under 18, they'd have to try me as a juvenile, and they could only hold me until I'm 18, and then they'd have to let me go.
Now, did you go through a certification process in New Hampshire?
Yes, I did.
What happened?
Is he saying that Pam? Because I was distracted. I was trying to fix something, so I was a little distracted. Is he saying that Pam told him, like, oh, you're fine because you're a juvenile, they can only hold you till you're 18? Because, yeah, that's not how that works.
I think that's what he's saying, yes.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
also it goes back into, you know, what we were talking about yesterday, where she designed this whole thing. Like, she even designed it down to him feeling bad about testifying.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
she groomed him so good that, like, he's still in love with her at this point. And he's going to go to jail. He's going to jail. But he's still in love with her. And he feels bad about testifying against her. It's craziness.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, especially, like, no, I mean, you do something like this, you know, where you take somebody else's life. It's not just one of those little things that's going to be a little, like, simple slap on the wrist and, oh, you're fine because you're under the age of 18. No, you're getting probably charged as an adult. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I mean, he had to have been because for how long he was in. But, yeah, that's not how that works. And as smart as he is with things that he said yesterday, like things that he thought about to do,
Yeah.
You would think that he would understand that one. It's like, no, that's not how that works. It's not just, oh, you're 18 now. Sorry, you did this when you were under 18. Be free, little buddy. No. Like, you're allowed to go out into the wild now.
Freedom!
Yeah, no, that is not how that works.
Also, Flashman, no. I think she belongs there after listening to this and seeing his reaction to everything. I mean, but also I don't believe that he's a kid. Like, all of the kids, they look like they're like 40. You know, they act like they're 40. They don't look like they're 40. They act like they're 40. You know? Like,
yeah.
It's just funny to me.
Well, I mean, like, she's, like, I remember on one of my, like, when my mom was streaming, like, Colleen had said, and I freaking love that Colleen is in here. like to get. I mean, she was like, no, she was even in Colleen, like one of the people in the chat that knew her, like went to school with her, I believe.
Her name's I thought it was Colleen.
Colleen.
I
don't know how to pronounce it.
That's Colleen. Colleen.
Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
If she's from around here, it's probably Colleen.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
But that does sound very fancy. I like the way you said it, though.
Paulina. But
Colleen.
I think she had said, like even in school, like she's always kind of been like a manipulator and stuff and a little off. And so, yeah, I think that she's right where she belongs. If he was originally facing for first degree, yep, you're right. So,
wait, what did he say? If he was originally facing first degree. Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right, let's keep rolling.
As a result of the certification process.
Well, there was 8 criteria that you have to meet, and there was 4 for me and 4 against me, and Judge Warhol decided to have me as an adult.
So you're treated as an adult in the justice system, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you and Pam ever discuss that possibility?
No.
Now, once you were incarcerated, did you ever have any discussions with the defendant?
Once I was incarcerated? No.
I'd like to show you what's marked as States 56 for identification. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, when I was in ADC, my mother said she got a letter from someone, but it didn't have a return address on it. And it had a tape in it, so I told her to bring it up. And the next visiting day, she brought up the letter, and it had this in it, and it had a tape in it.
Did you recognize that tape?
Yeah, it was a tape that I had made and gave to Pam.
How do you know it was a tape you had made and gave to Pam?
Well, I recognized it for one thing, and I played it when at ADC. It's the same tape.
And you made that tape?
Yes, I did.
When did you give it to the defendant?
The first night that I spent the night over her house before May 1st.
I don't need further questions, sir. Can we just charge for a moment?
Bill, can you tell the jury whether or not you had lunch on May 2nd, 1990?
Honestly, no. I don't remember if I had lunch or not.
You know a guy by the name of Frank Daly?
Yes, I do.
Did you oftentimes buy him lunch?
Yes, I did.
Buy him lunch on May 2nd, 1990?
I don't remember.
Don't remember? Remember taking money out of Gregg Smart's wallet on May 1, 1990?
No, I don't.
You don't? You remember whether Randall took money out of his wallet?
No, I don't.
So that wallet it's just laying there on the floor for no reason at all?
Well, if it's laying on the floor, I'm sure there's a reason.
Well, let's take a look at the photograph. Defendant's area. What's in that photograph?
A wallet, a ring, and keys.
A wallet, a ring, and keys. You telling this jury you can go through Gregg's wallet?
I'm telling the jury that if I did, I don't remember. I wasn't in a very calm state of mind.
Were you in a frenzy or something?
I was scared to death, yes.
You were scared to death?
I was very scared.
Yeah. You remember ripping a ring off of Gregg's finger?
No, I don't remember.
No, you remember whether Randall did?
No, I don't.
Any particular reason why that ring would be laying on the floor?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of. How about the keys? How'd they get there?
Well, I know that he unlocked the door with them, so they were most likely in his hand.
Were you crying over at 4 East the morning drive when you shot Gregg in the head?
Was I crying?
Yeah, were you crying?
No, I don't think I was.
Were you crying when you ran out through the back door and made your escape into an automobile?
No, I was very scared.
Were you crying on the way from Derry, New Hampshire to Seabrook, New Hampshire that evening?
That evening, that's quite possible.
That's quite possible.
Well, I was upset. I don't remember if I was crying or not, but JR and Raymond were singing that song to try to calm me down.
Were you laughing at the song?
I don't think I was. No.
You don't think you were?
I don't remember that night very well.
You don't remember the night that you killed Gregg Smart very well.
Oh, I remember it. I just don't remember how I was trying to deal with it. So I was scared.
Well,
Flashbang, no. I think they were all facing first degree.
What was he saying? DP?
Dolly Parton?
No.
Keeping it clean, keeping it clean.
Hey there, team. Hey there, Shinny.
Hello, Shinny. No, I don't believe that they were. I think everybody was first.
Yes, Flashbang knows what I'm talking about. No, because in New Hampshire they didn't have that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they abolished it before this.
Good for you, New Hampshire. You abolished that one, but yet it is still to this day legal
I think
for a public thing that has to do with a rope. That is still legal in that state. Not that they do it, but it is still technically legal.
Okay, actually no, they could have, because New Hampshire abolished the DP on May 30th, 2019. But they did, because I looked this up. I looked this up when your mom did the Montgomery trial, because it was also in New Hampshire, and I was just curious. And so they said that if the crime was committed before that date, before they abolished it, he could still be tried as a DP case.
Gotcha.
So technically they could have with her, but I don't think it's not.
And I'd have to look up to what, because I know there's certain like statutes and stuff that, like, it's second degree because of this, it's first degree because of this, it's capital because of this. But I don't think this would fall under the things that have to be met for capital. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I'd have to look it up myself. But yeah, no. I think they were all facing first, and then she was facing the accomplice for first, but they pled theirs down to second.
Yeah.
But all right, let's go.
Let's try to help you remember, okay?
Okay.
All right. People came into this courtroom and stated that you were laughing on the way back to Derry, New Hampshire. Were they being mistake?
I don't really think I'd be laughing that night, no.
You shouldn't be laughing, right?
I don't think I was.
I mean, that would be inappropriate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I was.
Do you know if you were laughing or not?
I don't believe I was, no.
Do you know if you were talking about the power of killing somebody?
I know I wasn't talking about the power of killing somebody.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I know I wasn't.
You knew you were not talking about that.
Yes, I know I wasn't.
You're positive about that.
I would not have said something like that.
You would never say anything like that, right?
No, I would not.
So if somebody came into this courtroom and spoke about a conversation with you on the way back from Derry, and part of that conversation had to do with the power of killing somebody, that person would be mistaken, right?
Yes.
Do you know if Pete Randall hears things like that?
Pete Randall?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
He's got okay hearing?
I've never checked his hearing for him, but I believe it's all right.
Well, I mean, you talk with him all the time, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You talk with him about this case, right?
Well, when we're talking about this, we're mostly talking about how we feel, now. And he told me, when he was on the stand and he saw himself on the news, he didn't look very emotional. And he said it's because he was scared. And it's very, very scary up here.
Right. He was criticized for not looking very emotional on the stand, right?
Yeah, Bill Spencer criticized him. The news criticized him.
For looking cold, right, and calculated on that stand right there.
Yes.
And Vladimir was criticized for looking cold and calculated, for sitting on that stand and testifying the way he did, right?
I don't think so.
No?
Well, I don't remember seeing anything about that. I just remember on the news they nailed Pete pretty bad.
They nailed Pete, yeah.
No, I don't think it's fair though, because they don't know Pete. I know Pete.
Right.
I know that he feels bad about this. I know that he wished it never happened. I mean, if he's up here and he can't express himself because he's scared or whatnot, I don't think that the media should be hammering him.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
They're being unfair with your friend Pete.
They don't know Pete.
They're being unfair with your friend Pete, who forced Gregg Smart to his knees while you shot him to the head. Are they?
Yes, they are being unfair with Pete.
Yeah. In order to be fair, treated fairly by the media, you got to show some emotion up there, dude.
No, I don't really care what the media thinks.
You don't care.
No, I care what Gregg's parents think.
So you're crying for Gregg's parents today?
No, I'm crying because I feel bad about it. I wish I never did it.
Okay. Were you crying when you were arrested and brought down to the ADC in Concord?
No.
Well, did you feel bad? Didn't you wish you didn't have anything to do with it then?
Well, it didn't really hit me then. I mean, I was sort of, I can't get arrested for this, They don't have anything on me. I'm not going to get arrested. I wasn't thinking about what I did.
Were you crying about it the night before or right before you were arrested at the movie?
No.
Were you crying about it down in Connecticut?
No. The night I got to ADC, I was crying about it.
Crying because you got caught.
Honestly, yes, that's why I was crying.
Let's go back a little bit. Now, you did develop a hatred for Gregg Smart, right?
I didn't like what he was doing to Pam, that's correct.
You hated Gregg Smart, right?
Well, yeah, I'd have to say yes. I did develop the hatred for Gregg.
You developed a hatred for Gregg Smart because you wanted to be with Pam, right?
No. I developed a hatred for Gregg Smart because Pam told me that he used to hit her. He'd grab her by the hair and throw her down. That he was never nice to her.
Never nice.
Yeah.
Abused her, right?
Yes.
You saw bruises on her, right?
She showed me one.
I understand what this attorney is doing, and he's just doing his job. But I strongly dislike when he's answered the question 3 times. Did you hate Gregg Smart? No. Did you hate Gregg Smart? No. And has said why? Like, did I hate him? No.
That's why her attorney should be standing up and being like, asked and answered,
Right. Absolutely.
Like, this is where trials kind of drag a little bit because nobody says anything to like move it along. Like, you don't need to do that. He already said no. You know what I mean?
Within 30 seconds, he has said no 3 times. Like, yeah, exactly. Next, like, don't drag it along, and his attorney should be stepping up. Like, just like you said. Oh, goodness.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
I miss.
Good. Why don't you tell me exactly where that bruise was and what day?
I couldn't tell you what day.
Well, stand up here.
I think a bruise would probably leave her arm after 9 months.
Would it be, I know that.
I'm sorry.
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm leaving the document, tell me what the basis is, as the rules say.
I'm objecting to the defense counsel's statement of what he knows and doesn't know. And I don't think that's the proper form of questioning.
Objection sustained. I wish both sides, when they object, to state the basis. That's what the rules of evidence say. Objection and state the basis. Don't leave me up here to guess, even though most times I think I probably can.
Thank you. Which shoulder, which arm?
It would be her left, I believe.
You believe or do you know?
Well, her left, my right. No,
This one?
Yes,
This arm right here?
yes,
Her left?
correct.
Okay. When was it?
It was before May 1st.
It was before May 1st. When was it? February?
It was after February 5th when she had told me her feelings towards me. And it was before May 1st.
Okay. Between February 5th and May 1, you saw a bruise on your upper left arm?
Yes,
It was obvious to you, right?
it was a bruise.
It was a purple bruise. What was it?
It was like a tan type,
Tan?
like a tan, brown, yellowish.
Was it around Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day? That's possible. I don't remember.
Well, was it during the month of February?
I honestly, I don't remember. I just know what I do remember is that it was between February 5th and May 1st.
Well, I'm gonna ask you to try to narrow it down for me. Was it before the day that you claimed in February that you had your first kiss with her?
I couldn't say for sure.
Well, I mean, how did you see her in the state of undress that she would have been in?
Well, she was wearing a short sleeve, well, kind of like a dress like that, but it was shorter sleeved, and she was at the media center. Cecilia Pierce was there. You can ask her about it, and she showed Cecilia and I.
A bruise.
Yes. I didn't see Gregg hit her, I can't say, yes, that was a bruise from Gregg Smart, but I did see a bruise, and she did tell me it was from Gregg.
Let me just see if we can age in narrowing it down. Was it before the first time that you had intercourse with her?
Well, like I said, I don't want to say it was this time and this time. What it was between was February 5th and May 1st.
I guess I'm trying to.
Well, I don't want to guess.
I don't want you to guess. Did this anger you when you saw this bruise?
Yes.
Okay, so what month did you become angry with Gregg Smart?
The month that I become angry with Gregg. And it was after I had sex with Pam the first time. Probably around, I don't know, probably when she was crying that night.
Is this the end of March that we're talking about?
I don't remember.
You stated for the prosecution when you said you had sex for the first time with Pam. When was that day?
That was at Pam's condo in Derry.
When was that day?
When was that day? I want to say it was before she went on the cruise, but I'm not positive.
You want to say it was before she went on a cruise?
Well, I kind of, that's what comes to mind, but I couldn't say, yes, it was before she went on the cruise in February.
Okay, so you would have seen this bruise, or you would have been angry with Gregg before she goes on a cruise in February?
Objection, Your Honor. That wasn't the question asked. The question was asked when he first had sex. Defense attorney's now asking if that's when he got angry. That's not what you said.
It is a separate question, and it has to do with a time frame, Your Honor.
Why don't you re-ask the question so everyone's clear?
All right, let's go through this again. Before this cruise that Pam goes on, what takes place? Do you have sex with her?
I think it was before, yeah, but I'm not positive, so I can't say.
Oh, this is a big thing for you, isn't it?
It's a very big
You
thing
were
for me,
a
yes.
virgin, right?
Yes,
All right, this is a big day for you, right?
yes.
Okay. Remember the day?
It was 9 months ago. I don't remember the day, sorry.
It was 9 months ago.
I remember what happened that day, perfect. I just don't remember the date.
Well, was it before your birthday or after your birthday?
I think it was before my birthday.
So it was before March 12, 1990, right?
Yeah.
And do you think you had sex with her before she went on the cruise or after?
I think it was before, but I'm not positive.
It's your best recollection it would have been before?
Yeah.
So before this cruise, you have a hatred for Gregg Smart.
Well, if it was before the cruise, that I had spent the night at Pam's house that first time, and she broke down and was crying on the way back, then yes, it was.
So you would have been hating Gregg Smart for over a couple of months before you finally killed him.
Yes.
It wasn't just a spur of the moment thing?
What do you mean by it wasn't just a spur of the moment thing?
Well, you told the jury you had no intention of killing Gregg Smart, right?
No, I didn't want to kill Gregg, no.
You didn't want to kill Gregg?
No, I did not.
Did you ever tell any of your friends you wanted to kill Gregg?
Yes, I did.
How many times did you tell your friends you wanted to kill Gregg?
I don't know.
Many, many, many times?
No, not many, many, many.
Not many, many times?
Not, well, there's... I mean, it's not like every day I'd be coming in, oh, I want to, do this and this.
Did you have about 20 planning meetings with your friends?
After they had decided to help me, and a little bit before, I guess around 20. I don't really want to guess though.
Why are you saying 20 then? Why would you agree with me if it's not true?
Because I know that there was quite a few times.
Okay,
But
now, during these particular planning sessions, it would be you and Latimer and Randall, right?
sometimes Raymond Fowler and Pam too.
Over where?
JR would be there at the media center. But she didn't really like to talk around JR.
Over at JR's house, you had about 20 sessions?
Well, we wouldn't say like, all right, we're gonna meet at JR's house at 9 o'clock and talk about this. It would just like come up.
It came up frequently over there, right?
Yes.
Came up, what, all through the month of March?
I think it was more like April that I was discussing it with them.
April?
As in planning and everything, discussing with them, telling them what Pam had said and everything. I think that was around April.
So you just sitting there attributing statements to Pam, right?
Can you repeat that, please?
You'd be saying, Pam told me this, Pam told me that, right?
Yeah, I told them. They knew that Pam was involved in everything.
Really?
Yes.
Through you?
Yeah, and plus she had talked about it before, like leaving the bulkhead door open in front of JR.
Did you talk to Randall?
No, I don't believe she did.
Did you talk to Fowler?
After the attempt with Fowler, yes, she did.
Did you able to sit down with Fowler?
No, that night in the car, as we were driving back, she asked to see the gun, and he held up a knife. So I'm sure Fowler, he knew that Pam was involved right there. It's obvious.
So all this planning's taking place, and are you telling this jury that, let's say, black clothing was Pam's idea?
Yes, it was.
Are you saying sneakers were Pam's idea?
No, that was Raymond's idea.
Are you saying the automobile ride, JR's automobile, using JR's automobile was Pam's idea?
No, that was JR's idea.
You're attributing the use of a firearm to Pam, right?
She wanted us to use that gun, yeah.
That's her idea?
Yes.
That wasn't an idea that came up just between you guys brainstorming things, huh?
She wanted to use a gun because, I guess the only other alternative would be a knife. She said that would be too messy.
So you guys said no knife, right?
Pam said no knife, yeah.
Well, did you agree with it?
Yeah, I didn't want to use a knife.
When was that? When did you agree to that?
Well, I told her I assured her that we'd use a gun the whole time.
When?
Throughout the whole planning.
Throughout the whole thing?
Yeah, every time I talked to Pam, and if she happened to say, make sure you use a gun, don't use anything else, I'd say, yes, I'll use a gun, I promise.
You won't use a gun or you will use a gun?
I will use a gun.
You promised that you won't use a knife, right?
She didn't want us to use a knife.
So you go there, when do you go there to try to kill Gregg the first time?
Probably late March, early April, right around there. No, I didn't go there. I just called her up and I said, oh, you don't have a car and stuff. That's when she got mad at me.
So you just lied over the phone, is that what you're telling the jury?
Did I lie over the phone? No, I didn't have a car and I didn't have a gun. I told her the truth.
Okay, you said I'm not going.
I said, well, sorry, I can't go up.
Okay.
I tried to get a car, I tried to get a gun, but I couldn't. Well, that was a lie because I didn't try to get a car or a gun, and she got mad at me.
This would have been in April?
March, like after my birthday. I know it was after my birthday. Late March, April, right around there.
Well, you were trying to get a gun then, weren't you?
Around there?
Yeah.
Yes, I was, but it was after that first attempt, because after she got mad at me that first time when I called her, that's when I started thinking, well, she's serious about this, and she is gonna leave me if I don't do this.
That's a theme I want to talk about a little bit with you. That's a big fear that Pam would break off a relationship with you.
If I didn't kill Gregg for her, yes.
Your big fear is that Pam would break off a relationship with you.
If I didn't kill Gregg, yes.
That's it?
What do you mean that's it?
Well, were you worried day in and day out that Pam would leave you?
Day in, day out, no.
No? You didn't care one way or the other?
Yeah, I cared. I didn't want her to leave me.
Did you want to be with her the rest of your life?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did that start? When was that desire?
Probably after the first time we had sex. I don't know.
And that's when you wanted to be with her the rest of your life?
Yeah. I should say she'd want to be with me for the rest of my life.
That was on your mind, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, if she came to you and said, hey, Bill, forget it, I don't want anything to do with it, that would make you feel terrible, right?
I'd be devastated, yes.
Devastated if she broke off the relationship.
Yep.
Devastated if she said something like, I don't want anything to do with you, I just can't go on with this affair, I'm going back to my husband.
She never would have said something like that. I mean, as in, I'm going back to my husband.
That was devastating.
She did say that, like that time on the phone when I called her and she got mad, she said, when she was saying that's it between us, she said, because, I can't go on seeing you like this and not, being able to stay with you and having to go home to him because of the way he treats me.
All right, breaking off the relationship would have devastated you, right?
I did not want her to break off the relationship, but
You had, for lack of a better term, an obsession with this woman?
yes,
You thought about her all the time.
yes,
You thought about living with her all the time, right?
yes,
You thought about the fact that you were separated from her because she was married.
say that again?
You were separated from her because she was married. She's in Derry, you're living in Seabrook, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You thought about that, right?
Yeah.
Would that help fuel your hatred and your anger too?
I wanted to be with Pam, yes. I didn't want to kill Gregg either, though.
We'll get to that. When did the bullets actually get purchased? Do you know?
I believe it was either 2 days before or a day before May 1st,
2 days before or the day before?
to the best of my recollection.
Well, I mean, if somebody says it was a month and a half before, they'd be incorrect.
I believe so, yes.
If somebody said it was on the very day of the murder, they'd be incorrect.
It might have been on the very day. I don't think it was, though. I'm pretty sure it was 2 days to a day before.
2 days or a day before the rounds are purchased.
It was very close to May 1st, yes.
And you're saying that Pam gave you the money?
Yes, she did.
Okay, and again, could you just go through that with me?
Sure. I told Pam, because I didn't have any money at that time, and I told her I need money to buy the bullets. And she said, well, how much are they going to cost? This was at the media center. And I said, well, they shouldn't be more than $30 because I didn't know how much it cost. And so we drove to the bank. This was during lunch, I believe. We drove to the bank, and she withdrew some money, and she gave me $30 from it.
Now, this would have been a day or two before the murder.
When she gave me the money, 3 days, 4 days before, could have been the day we bought the bullet, so it was very close also.
3 or 4 days before the murder?
Approximately, yes.
Was it within a week of the murder?
Yes, it was within a week.
And how much money again?
I don't know how much she withdrew, I can't remember, but she gave me $30.
She gave you $30.
Yes, she did.
And the bank was which bank?
I don't know the name of it. It's in Hampton.
It's in Hampton?
It's close to the movie theater.
Yeah, the movie theater in Hampton.
Yeah.
Now, when you got these bullets, you knew you were going to use them, right?
That's what I bought them for, yes.
So this is days before this murder goes down. You already intended to kill Gregg.
Pam said she was going to leave me if I didn't, yes.
You already intended to kill Gregg.
Yes.
In fact, you wanted a special style of round.
I asked JR what would be the quickest, most painless way to do it. He said a hollow tip bullet.
The quickest, most painless way to do it.
Correct.
The quickest, most painless way to kill somebody. Right?
Yes.
And he says, get yourself some hollow points, right?
He told me hollow tips would be the quickest and most painless.
All right. And then you already had the gun was already lined up, right?
Yes.
In fact, that gun was lined up, what, weeks before, months before?
Say like a week or so before.
And where did you keep that gun so that it would be ready to go?
Well, it was kept in JR's father's drawer. We didn't touch it until like right around the time we bought the bullets. JR took it out of his father's dresser, and we kept it in the camper outside.
You brought it out to the camper outside?
Yes.
When was this?
At the maximum, a week before May 1st.
Okay, a week before May 1,
At the maximum.
at the maximum.
It could have been sooner to May 1.
Could be what?
It could have and probably was sooner to May 1st.
All right. How much closer to May 1st could it be?
It could have been the day before May 1st. Could have been May 1st.
Take the weapon. Who takes the weapon?
JR took it out of his father's drawer.
All right. Moves it out of the trailer.
Yeah.
Brings it over to the camper.
Well, the first time I saw it after he'd taken it out of the drawer, I believe it was in the camper, yes.
All right. So the first time you see it, it's in the camper. It's not in the trailer.
Correct.
And JR's there.
Yes, he was.
And Randall's there.
Yes, he was.
And you pick up the weapon and you take a look at it.
Yeah.
What do you do with the weapon in front of these two guys?
Well, Ralph was there, and I believe Pete was talking to Ralph so he wouldn't come in the camper. JR came in. I asked him how to open the chamber, and he showed me, and that's about it.
That's about it.
I believe that's when we would. No, that wasn't when we were talking about the bullets.
That's not when you talked about the bullet?
No, we talked about the bullets before that.
Did you know whether or not JR had ammunition right there on site that would fit that weapon?
Right there on site, his father had 38 rounds
His father had 38 rounds,
in his room. Yeah.
right in the room?
Yeah.
And what other rounds were there?
What other rounds?
Yeah, what other ammunition?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I know the other guns he had. I don't know what ammunition was there though.
You don't know? You don't know of any other ammunition?
No.
Were you ever involved in getting ammunition to bring over to JR's house?
Was I ever involved in getting ammunition to bring over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went with George Emont to Big Al's gun shop. Had George buy the bullets and brought them back.
Any other time?
Before May 1st?
Yeah.
No.
You never obtained ammunition from another source?
Not before May 1st, no.
After May 1st, did you obtain ammunition from another source?
Well, after May 1st, we did have some ammunition, but it wasn't 38. It was, I can't remember. I remember there was 22 bullets because JR has a little 22 rifle. I don't know what else was there though.
Why did you get ammunition after May 1?
Well, we didn't go with the express purpose of getting ammunition. We just, in the process of what we were doing, we got ammunition.
Process of what you were doing, you got ammunition.
We broke into a storage facility,
Where was this?
Salisbury. It's after May 1st, though.
When was it?
Well, the newspaper said May 5th.
See, the newspaper said May 5th.
Yeah.
So is that the day? Because you read a newspaper?
Well, I know it was after May 1st, and It's very possible that it was May 5th, yeah. Since the newspaper said so, I guess it was.
You just read the paper while you were in jail?
Yeah.
And that clears it all up for you?
No, it's possible that it wasn't May 1st. I mean, May 5th, but I know it was after May 1st.
Well, you were looking for a gun in there too, weren't you?
No.
You weren't looking for a weapon?
No, Ralph Welch had come up with the idea to break into that place. And we went there, and JR, Pete, Ralph, and myself were there. Ralph and Pete got out, and they climbed over the fence, and they were looking around the place to see if there's anybody in there. And so they came back and said there wasn't anyone in there. We went to Ralph's house and got bolt cutters because they all had locks on them, the storage sheds. And they were just going to open them up and see what was in there. We never went with the purpose for let's go find a gun or anything.
You just went for the purpose of what?
To see what was in there, to take.
To steal?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
And this would have been just days after you killed Gregg Smart.
If the newspaper is correct.
You named the day. When was it?
I said the newspaper said May 5th, but I said I wasn't sure if it was May 5th. I know that it was after May 1st.
Was it shortly after you killed Gregg Smart?
I couldn't really say, to be honest.
Is there some particular reason why you're blaming Ralph for this particular break-in?
I'm not blaming Ralph. We were all to blame.
And you weren't looking for a weapon, huh?
No, I wasn't with them when they got into the shed thing that had the bullets in it, but there was bullets in there and gun scopes, but they said they looked and there was no guns.
I want to go through with you in as much detail as the prosecution has with regard to this, okay? When do you claim to have first wanted to be with Pam for the first time?
When did it, like, forever be with Pam, or like? Well, it was shortly after February 5th, and I was attracted to her. And, I liked her a lot and everything.
Even before that, did you make comments to your friend that you wanted to go to bed with her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before the 5th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much earlier than the 5th of February, 1990 was that comment first made?
It was the first day I saw her.
When was that?
Project Self-Esteem meeting, beginning of sophomore year,
September
possibly.
1989?
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying yeah as in September. This is right around there.
September or October?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you made it your business to get into her group.
Hello, Jojo. It is nice to meet you. Welcome to the channel. I am not actually the one that is in charge of this channel, and I normally don't run this channel. It's actually my mom that does. She's just she's got some things going on. So yeah, I'm spawn of AJ, her daughter. So it is nice to meet you. Right now we are looking at we're just going through the Pam Smart trial. It's one of the first trials in the United States to be televised. So the person testifying right now is Billy Flynn, which was, he was 15, 16 when this happened, and Pam Smart was 22. They had an inappropriate teacher-student relationship that resulted in Billy and some other accomplices unaliving Pam's husband. So we're just actually kind of wrapping up his part 3 of his testimony and then going through the rest of the trial. But yeah, welcome. I will let you know the chat, they can get a little crazy sometimes. They like to do some friendly banter to one another. So no one's being mean, I promise. So, but I encourage you to give them some friendly banter back because they think it's fun. But alrighty, we will keep going with this.
And that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you were very much attracted to her?
Yes.
You were hoping very much that she would be attracted to you?
I wasn't thinking, I hope she's attracted to me. I just wanted to get into her group and get to know her.
Want to get into the group and get to know her?
Yeah.
You told all your friends about that, right?
Yeah.
That was no big secret, right?
Not between my friends, no.
It was early as the fall of 1989.
Yeah.
In January, did you have much conversation with him? January of 1990?
I believe I was involved in the orange juice commercial then.
Okay. Anything special then?
Between us?
Yeah.
No.
Why did you want to be in the orange juice commercial?
When she told me about it, I thought it was a stupid idea, but I said yeah because she was going to be in it.
Because she was getting it.
Yeah.
Then in February is when it gets serious, is that what you're saying?
After she told me, yeah.
And you tell your friends about this, right?
Yeah.
You share with them letters and notes and so forth, right?
Yes.
You tell them of your plans to be with Pam for the rest of your life.
I told him about, Pam wanted Gregg dead and everything. I don't think I said, hey guys, I want to be with Pam for the rest of my life.
Gregg was in your way, right?
Gregg was in my way?
Yeah, I mean, as long as Pam was with Gregg, you couldn't have Pam, right?
No, as long as I didn't kill Gregg for Pam, I could be with Pam, but she threatened to break up with me.
Right. So you're telling this jury that the only reason that you killed Gregg is because you loved Pam. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's because Pam told me to, and I loved Pam.
And you would do whatever Pam told you to do? Is that what you're saying to the jury?
Whatever Pam told me to do, yes, I probably would back then, yes.
It's kind of like you had no brain at all?
I had a brain. I was in love. Sorry.
So, I mean, do you admit that you knowingly killed Gregg Smart?
That I know, yeah.
I mean, you did it, right?
Yes, I did.
All right. You're not saying that you were out of your mind, are you?
Yeah, what do you mean, like crazy or something? No.
Are you saying somebody made you do it?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Just a little.
Are you saying that somebody made you kill Gregg?
I wouldn't have killed Gregg if Pam didn't want me to, no.
Okay, so you're saying that Pam made you kill Gregg,
Yes,
and that act was really not you?
I performed the act, yes, but I never would have done it if Pam didn't tell me to.
You were just like a machine or something like that?
She was the first girl I ever loved.
You're
I
saying
cared for a lot. No, I didn't want her to leave me.
you didn't want one?
Oh, looks like the camera messed up. Again, people that are coming in, I apologize that the screen keeps glitching. It's actually bothering me a little bit. I can't do anything about it. It's just the video feed, video feed in the courtroom. But he just said that was my first love, and that like I said yesterday when we were doing this, at the end of the day, there are consequences for your actions. But there's a part of me that I feel bad for him. Yeah. Lavi, you said it best. He was a poor, brainless, groomed baby. And it's just, I feel bad for him. I mean, and this is probably one of the most honest I've ever seen somebody be testifying, especially when they're the perpetrator. They're the ones that did it. And I mean, besides, like a complete psychopath, because sometimes they don't care.
Have you ever seen that movie, Becoming John Malkovich?
Never even heard of it. I don't watch a lot of movies.
Well, it's an older movie. You become this he's an actor. You become him, but you're basically seeing things through his like vision, like through his eyes. And so like every time the camera does that, it just reminds me of that movie where like you're looking through John Malkovich's eyes and he's just blinking.
Just sitting there blinking over and over. When it first did yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh. Because the stream before, when we did our Ask Me Almost Anything, like chit chat, we were talking about like ghost hunting and so I'm like, is this the poltergeist about to happen? No. I says, come on, man. She was dangling her cat in front of a 16-year-old. She knew what she was doing. You are exactly right. She knew what she was doing.
I said this yesterday.
You did.
She definitely has a magic kitty cat, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad that I've never.
Does some magical things, apparently.
That's why you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with women.
That's
Like
true.
as a woman, I will tell you, you gotta be careful with them. Because some of them, they're a little crazy, but they got the magic kitty cat. All right. I'm gonna press play now.
Or to leave me.
As early as March of 1990, you were attempting to procure a firearm over at Papa Gino's restaurant in Seabrook.
Okay. I don't know what is happening.
The video just cut out.
I think so. I'm just gonna keep letting it play and see if it fixes itself. Like,
Right?
Once it
I don't remember if it was in March. I don't remember when it was, but I know that I did try to get a gun from Papa Gino's parking lot.
What was the purpose of trying to get that gun?
there it goes.
To kill Gregg.
To kill Gregg, right?
Yeah.
Who was helping you try to get that gun?
Cecilia told me where to get it. Chad drove me over.
Now, I know that you've gone through this whole negotiated bargain with the prosecution. Has the prosecution told you that you'd only be charged with one thing?
Did they tell me?
Yeah.
Like, no. They just said I could, in exchange for the deal, the bargain was I plead guilty to second degree instead of first. They never, I don't recall them saying, no, you're not going to be charged with anything else.
Well, is it your understanding that you're going to be charged with another crime?
No.
What is your understanding?
My understanding is it doesn't look like I'm going to be charged with, but I was never promised that I would not be.
You were never promised that you wouldn't be, you weren't promised that you would be, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And you signed that agreement not knowing, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You're saying that you don't know if you're going to be charged with conspiracy?
No, I don't.
You don't know if you're going to be charged with attempted murder?
No.
You don't know if you're going to be charged with witness tampering or obstruction of justice?
No.
And you don't know if you're going to be charged with, let's say, an attempted theft of a firearm?
I wasn't told I was going to be. I wasn't told I wasn't going to be.
And prosecutors would know all of this, right?
I imagine, yes.
I mean, you talked to them about it.
Did I talk to them about that? No, I didn't. And if I did, I don't remember.
So you go with Papa Gino's, you try to steal a firearm to kill Gregg back in March of 1990?
Well, Cecilia had told me about it in front of Pam, so, and I didn't want to do this. But if I would have said, well, look, Pam, I'm not going to do this, I was afraid that she'd leave me. So
you're saying that basically this attempted theft of a firearm over at Papa Gino's would be Pam Smart's fault, right? Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm saying the reason I went over there to get the gun is that so I could show Pam the gun and she'd think, well, he's all right. He's not, he's trying and everything.
Are you telling this jury that you did not want to steal the gun back in March of 1990?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, it wasn't the witness's testimony. That's just changing it to say he's saying something else.
I'm asking you.
I mean, to her, I just don't think it's being fair to the witness.
I'm being fair. I'm asking a separate, distinct question. Your Honor, you can answer.
Clearly.
Thank you. Somebody force you to steal or attempt to steal a gun back in March of 1990?
No, I wanted to, but I didn't want to get the gun to kill Gregg. I wanted to get the gun to show Pam, so she'd think that I was trying to go through with this and everything.
So now the gun's just to show Pam, is that what you're telling the jury?
Back then, yes, it was.
Just so you can show Pam a gun?
Yes.
And what's this gonna do for you?
It's going to show Pam that I'm trying, that I am doing something about this, so that she'd think, all right, well, he's going to go through this and everything, so she wouldn't leave me.
Now, this is also a month where you would have paid it Gregg Smart.
Probably, yes.
So you're trying to steal a gun, and it's during a month where you would have paid it Gregg Smart.
I hated Gregg Smart because of what he was doing to Pam, but I didn't want to kill Gregg Smart.
You tried to get a gun again back in March of 1998. Did you go over to somebody's house and try to go through a car there?
Go to someone's house?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the same person's car.
Right.
And it was like that night or the night after.
You went over to someone's house and broke into the car?
Cecilia told me where they lived. I didn't break in, I opened the door, it was unlocked.
And you were looking for what?
The gun Cecilia told me was in there.
What kind of gun was this supposed to be?
I have no idea.
You know anything about guns?
I know a little bit about guns. I know, difference between a pistol and a rifle and an automatic, semi-automatic. I'm no expert on guns though. And all Cecilia told me was that she had a gun in her car. She didn't know what kind it was.
Before you drove to Derry for the first time to try to kill Gregg, you were still looking for a gun, weren't you?
Yeah, me and Raymond went to his house to look for one.
You looked over at Raymond Fowler's house for a .45 caliber semi-automatic weapon?
I don't remember what kind of gun it was supposed to be, but we never found it.
You looked in an attic, you looked in the basement, right?
Yes.
You couldn't find one?
No.
Was that gun just to show Pam?
No, back then I was serious about it up to the point where it looked like we were going to do it.
Here's another suggestion. Did you think of going over to JR's house and borrowing one of his guns to show Pam?
Yeah, but he wouldn't let me.
He wouldn't let you?
No.
He wouldn't let you borrow a firearm just to show somebody?
Correct.
This is the same JR that allows you to use a firearm to kill somebody?
Yes, that was afterwards. He wouldn't. Back then, I believe he still thought I was crazy for doing this.
Why would he think you're crazy? Were you acting a little strange or something?
Objection, Your Honor, as to what JR would think.
Sorry?
I'm objecting to the request of this witness to testify as to what JR would think and why.
I'm asking whether or not he felt that he was acting strange.
I want you, where are you going to ask this question?
Were you acting strange?
Was I acting strangely? I don't think I was. No.
You don't think you were? Just acting normal?
Besides talking about Pam and everything, yeah.
So JR thinks that you're not acting normal and he won't give you a gun?
No, he's not. He didn't. When I say he thought I was crazy, I'm not saying that I was walking around 24 hours a day crazy. He just thought it was a crazy thing to do to go kill Gregg.
To what?
To-
kill Gregg?
Yes.
And then if it's better by May 1, it's not crazy?
Well, he agreed to help.
I know. Between the time you first talked to him and May 1, it's not a crazy thing to do?
Yes, it is a crazy thing to do, but he agreed to help.
Just to clarify this, you recruited specifically JR, right?
JR and Pete, yes.
And Pete and Fowler, right?
Yes.
And you're certainly not going to tell the jury that Pam had anything to do with that, right?
Well, Pam had told me, why don't Pete and JR help you? And I said, well, I asked them, and they think I'm crazy.
So now you are blaming Pam for getting these guys involved?
No.
No. Well, I mean, which way is it? Did she force you to get these guys, or did you do it on your own?
I got them involved.
You got them involved?
Yes.
You and you alone, right?
Pam got me involved. I got them involved.
Okay, so you're blaming Pam on getting you involved.
I never would have killed Gregg if it wasn't for Pam.
Is that what you were thinking of when you cocked that hammer back? Before you shot Gregg, were you thinking of Pam?
I don't know what I was thinking of.
And the reason I asked you this is because I want to know what your motive was at the time that you killed Gregg.
My motive was Pam.
Your motive was, so you're cocking that trigger back, and you're thinking of Pam, is that what you're doing?
I was there because of Pam. I do not remember what I was thinking.
You don't remember what you were thinking at the time you killed Gregg?
No.
You remember you're so unclear that you don't even know why this material is laying under his body.
I was extremely scared. I'm sorry, but I don't remember.
You don't remember? You were scared?
I was very scared, yes.
Were you so scared that you were sitting around contemplating whether or not to unscrew a ball from a light fixture in the hallway?
That was before Gregg got there.
Yes, it was. Why don't you tell the jury how many minutes it was before Gregg got there?
How many minutes?
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes?
Okay, 15 or 20 minutes before you killed Gregg?
Approximately.
You're worried about premeditation?
Yeah.
You're worried about how the scene looks?
Yeah, Pam wanted it to look like a burglary.
So this is Pam's fault again, right?
What do you mean by Pam's fault?
Are you blaming not taking the bulb out of the light fixture on Pam now?
No. I'm saying she wanted it to look like a burglary, and I figured if we took the bulb out, it's not going to look like a burglary.
You figured that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You and your friends used to sit around in planning sessions, and you used to shoot ideas off of each other, didn't you?
We talked about it, yes.
You talked about whether it should look like a bungled burglary, right?
No.
You didn't. Are you sure of that?
Pam had said make it look like a burglary. That never changed. That was going to be the whole time.
So that wasn't an idea that would have been brought up by any of your buddies, like Latimer or Randall?
It was Pam's idea.
It was strictly Pam's idea, right?
Yes, it was.
Your buddies would have had nothing to do with suggestions on how that scene should look.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, they might have said, well, what you should do is take the stereo out and put it here, but it wasn't their idea to make it look like that. It was Pam's.
When you were in that apartment on 4E, and you were waiting around before you killed Gregg, how much time actually elapsed before you killed Gregg?
From the time we went in the bulkhead doors to the time then?
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
You don't remember that either?
I don't remember how much time had passed. No, I wasn't watching my clock timing this or anything.
No, how about your best approximate?
Approximate? Say 45 minutes?
45 minutes?
Yeah.
And during this particular period of time, you go through an apartment that you're already familiar with, right?
Yes.
You go up to the top floor, you ransack the bedroom, the master bedroom.
Yes.
You bring down a small portable television.
I believe so, yes.
You go through a jewelry box.
Yes.
Why are you going through the jewelry box now?
Pam said to take the jewelry. She wanted it to look like a burglary.
Did Pam leave some good jewelry in there for you?
Well, that day she had a lot of jewelry on, and she had said, because she knew what we were doing, that we were going up there that night. So she wore all her favorite rings and stuff.
So there wouldn't be any good jewelry left up there?
There was still jewelry and stuff left up there. I don't know if it was this great jewelry or anything. I know that Pete had tested it, put it in bleach or something, and it was like bad stuff.
Did you ever tell Latimer in your presence that you leave some nice looking chains or bracelets up there?
I don't recall.
You don't recall that? You get the bag of jewelry, you put it in a bag?
Pete did, yes.
So is that all Pete's idea or what?
To put it in that bag?
Yeah.
Well, we got the pillowcase, and he put it in there. And then we took it downstairs. It was his idea to put it in the black one.
Okay.
But I think when we got the pillowcase off the bed, that was just, we, knew we were going to do that before.
All right. You intended on stealing the jewelry?
Yeah, Pam told us to.
You intended on stealing speakers?
Pam told us to make it look like a burglary, and that's what we were doing.
And specifically, what kind of speakers were these?
Either Boss, B-O-S-S, or Bose, B-O-S-E.
And what other speakers? Anything else?
Just those. There was the Kenwood speakers, home speakers in there, but they were too big.
But you were under direct instructions from Pam that you take the BOSE speakers?
She said, make it look like a burglary. And I told her, well, we'll probably take the speakers and stuff like that, and, you know, because that's what someone would do if they broke in the house.
And you refer to the Boss speakers?
They might have been Boston Acoustics, now that I think about it.
Well, what are they?
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen them. You know, and when I went to Pam's house, I wasn't sitting there looking at the speakers.
Weren't you thinking about the plan, the murder, the botched burglary, the way the scene should look? Weren't you thinking about those things?
Yes.
You were casing the place, right?
I was casing the place.
You were looking for things to steal. You were checking out the scene.
I was there to be with Pam.
You were there to be with him.
Yes.
Did you get familiar with the layout of the apartment?
Yeah.
Did you get familiar with the surrounding?
Surroundings, yeah, she drove us around one time saying park here and everything. Going through the plan.
You told the jury in direct testimony, basically, that all you could remember was grabbing Gregg when he came into the door by the shoulders,
Yes, I believe it was by the shoulders.
and that there was a lapse of time, that you didn't hit him, right?
I don't believe I hit him, no.
So, I mean, if somebody said you hit him, that person would be incorrect, right?
To the best of my memory, yes, it'd be incorrect.
You mean you wouldn't remember anything like that? Is that what you're telling the jury?
For the last 9 months, I've been trying to think about this as little as possible.
Well, you've been going over this with your friends, so come on.
Have I been going over this with my friends? No, I haven't.
You talked to Randall about this?
We've talked before about this case, but we've never once, never said, all right, this is what we're going to say, or all right, you say this and I say this.
Well,
Nothing like that.
back as, recently as June of 1990, you were concerned about getting your story together, weren't you?
Yeah, that was with Raymond. And then after that, we were arrested, put in ADC, and in ADC, we weren't allowed to talk to each other until Christmas Eve. And in ADC, there's a rule: you cannot speak one word to anybody unless there's a staff member within earshot. You're monitored by staff everywhere you go. And once we're allowed to talk to each other, because of our charges and everything, we were monitored all the time. And there's very, very few occasions where we'd be alone somewhere and there wouldn't be any there, and never more than 3 minutes.
Talking about the rules of ADC, did you watch Vance Latamy's explanation of the rules of ADC on television?
No, I didn't.
You didn't watch television?
No, I watched most of Pete's direct, and then I'd go back and forth. I didn't sit down and watch it.
You weren't watching?
The TV's right outside my bedroom.
It's right outside your bedroom over at
My
the jail?
My cell, yeah. And everyone in Brentwood watches the case.
You interested in it at all?
Am I interested in this case?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, were you interested in your body being examined on the stand?
Yeah.
You interested in Latamy being examined on the stand?
Yeah.
Were you interested in knowing whether or not they'd be asked questions like, did you talk over at ADC?
That doesn't matter, because we've told, when Pete was in ADC and JR and I were in Brentwood, and there's no way we could have had a story conformed when we were in ADC. Pete made the deal there, JR and I made the deal in Brentwood. So it was made before we were all together and able to talk freely. And once we told the AGs what we knew and everything, we can't change our story. And we tell them what we know, and that's what they...
Can't change your story once you tell these guys what you know, right?
No, we couldn't say, all right, this is what we know. We told them the truth. We told them everything we remembered and what we know, each individually. And then, we couldn't say, oh, well, that and that didn't happen. I talked to Pete and this, and it went like this. Or I couldn't, because if we changed it, and all of a sudden all 3 stories are exactly the same, they're not going to make the deal.
They wouldn't make the deal.
And plus, if we made up this story and it wasn't true, I never would have said, and I'm sure Pete wouldn't, about using a knife or anything like that.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Using a knife, that's...
Why is that so ridiculous? Is that ridiculous using a knife to kill somebody?
I don't know. it's really bad, you know.
We have a short recess. So I asked you a couple questions about your education. Did you have a course in school by the name of Crime and Punishment?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes.
And when did you have this course?
Sophomore year,
That would have been what year?
last year.
89, 90?
Yes.
Were you involved in this particular course at the time you killed Gregg Smart?
Yes, I was.
You were?
Yes.
What was the course about?
Crime and punishment.
Well, what sort of projects did you get involved in?
Well, they had several cases, mock trials, throughout the course, and I was usually lawyer. But on the last one, there's the big trial for crime and punishment. It's like either you're a bad guy or a police officer, judge, attorney, and Vance and I were bad guys.
What were you?
Political activists.
What did you do? What was the crime for?
We were protesting the use of fetal pigs in the science department, and our threat was that for every day that they continued using them, without that they continued using them, we're gonna kill someone in the science department.
That was your project?
It wasn't my idea. It was what I was put into.
That's what you were put into?
Yeah, because Mr. Barron, the teacher, there's the bad guys in our class were me, JR, and two other ladies, girls. One was Tracy, and I can't remember who the other one was. And that was their idea. And we hadn't come up with an idea yet, so Mr. Barron said we should go into their thing.
That you should be the killers?
Yeah.
And how long did this go?
The mock trial probably went on for about a week.
When was this trial?
When was this trial?
Yeah.
April.
April of 1990?
Yeah.
And to prepare for that particular event, did you learn about things like premeditation?
Yes.
Did you learn about different theories of, let's say, conspiracy and that sort of stuff?
Yes.
Was it Latamy's idea or your idea, in the presence of Mr. Barron, that the event should deal with the killing spree?
Latamy's idea.
And that would have been in April of 1990?
Yes.
And the different court procedures and so forth were discussed during this course?
Yes.
And different types of crimes were discussed?
Yes.
That was a 2-semester course or 1-semester course?
2-semester, half-year course.
On June 10, 1990, when you heard that Ralph Welch went to the police, your mind was on escaping, right?
I didn't want to get caught. That's correct.
And whose idea was it to go to Connecticut?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, because I want to say Pete because it's Pete's. Oh no, as a matter of fact, the idea wasn't to go to Connecticut. It was to go to Florida.
Just go to Florida.
Yeah.
And you talked to Ralph Welch on the phone, did you?
Yes, I did.
And how long of a conversation did you have?
Not very long. 5-10 minutes.
You didn't talk about rumors that Ralph Welch, rumors in the area dealing with Pam and you as being perpetrators of the crime, did you?
Yes, I did.
The fact of the matter is you told Ralph.
Objection,
I said I did.
objection to the form of the question as to what the facts are, the jury to further that.
Well, why don't you phrase it in terms of the question?
you tell Ralph the following. If Pam ever finds out about this, she'll never talk to me again. If she leaves me, I'll kill myself.
Yes, and the this we're referring to is the rumor.
And was that day that you went to Connecticut?
Yes, it was.
And then you returned the following day and were arrested.
Yes.
And then you're telling the jury that from that day forward, you never talked with your friends about the substance of this particular murder.
No, I said that we never set up a plan or whatever.
Thank you.
No questions, John.
You step down, thank you.
So what do you guys think of his testimony? I mean, I think he was very honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like yesterday, I mean, I understand consequences for your actions, but whatever photo that they showed him yesterday that made him cry. I mean, it was obviously of Gregg Smart, but I just the young boy in love. But she clearly groomed him and manipulated him and used that apparently very powerful kitty cat to get to his heart.
Oh shit! Do you know if they were all put in the same prison? Like all of him and his buddies?
I don't know if if every single one of them went to the same one. I know he went to Maine.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know if they all went to the same one. I mean, at that point in time, you all let them be at the same jail, even though they're co-defendants, and you let them talk to each other while this was happening. So at that point, who cares if they're at the same one?
Yeah.
So I was going back and forth because the next one, and Gabby, if you got to go, I understand because this is what a spur of the moment. But I was texting my mom. The next video is it's 50 minutes long. It's actually pretty short. So if you guys want to stick around and do it, we can go ahead. If you guys want to wait till tomorrow and do it, that's fine. So the next one will actually be the life insurance investigator is going to testify. The superintendent for the school district is going to testify. And then a coworker of Gregg Smart is going to testify. So, like I said, that's not the right button. It's 50 minutes and 42 seconds. So, if you guys don't have anything else to do and you want to go ahead and get through it, we can.
No, not 15. Flash ran 50.
Yeah, 50. But just let me know in the chat. I was gonna take a break and just put it on another stream, but I don't have enough time and stuff, and she doesn't have enough time to make another thumbnail. So, if you want to go for it, we can. Like I said, Gabby,
you could just go in and change the title of this one for it to say like Billy Flynn and
I think I can. Can I do it after? Do I have to do it right now?
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can go in and edit the title of it. Although, definitely check with your mom about that. But I'm pretty sure you can.
We'll figure it out. All right, you guys.
I'll stay on, as long as until my husband gets home, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand.
He's out fishing for a smallmouth.
Oh, those smallmouths.
He be getting them, though. He be getting them.
Oh, yeah. He caught a lot the other day.
Yay.
The good thing is this one actually has closed captions, which is nice.
Mm.
Have no I haven't watched this one yet, so no idea what the audio is like. So again, if I need to adjust some things, like I said, just tell me in the chat and I'll.
Yeah, see, Colleen said, yes, you can. I do it all the time on my channel. So you can.
Oh.
You can go back and edit like the title of it.
Okay. Well, if you guys are ready, this is going to be the next part. Like I said, it's the insurance investigator. I don't know what order it's in because I haven't watched this one yet. Insurance investigator, superintendent of the school district, and Gregg Smart coworker. So, all right, let's get going.
Next name for the benefit of the reporter.
Houle.
May I proceed, Your Honor? Mr. Hill, by whom are you employed?
Metropolitan Life Insurance Company,
How long have you been so employed?
18 years,
Where are you employed working for Metropolitan Life?
Warwick, Rhode Island.
And what are your duties and responsibilities for Metropolitan Life?
Basically, I oversee claims that are unusual in nature, such as
Homicides.
suicides, contestable policies, fraud cases.
And what geographical area are you in charge of?
Right now, basically the New England states.
And how long have you had these responsibilities for Metropolitan Life?
Approximately 10 years.
Did you ever become involved in the handling of life insurance policies for Gregg Smart?
Yes, I did.
And in investigating the life insurance policies for Gregg Smart, did you become aware of what personal life insurance policies he had?
We originally knew he had one life insurance policy, and because he deceased within 2 years of its issuance, we conducted a medical investigation in regards to his medical history, and we already knew he had a life insurance policy, if that's what you're asking.
And how much was that life insurance policy for?
$50,000.
And when was that policy entered into? When was it bought? Do you recall? Do you know?
He signed the application for insurance on June 13th, 1989.
Who was the beneficiary of that insurance policy?
Originally, Pamela Smart.
Now, is there any particular rider on that insurance policy?
Yes, there was a spouse term rider that also insured the life of Pamela Smart.
And can you explain that to the members of the jury?
That's also for $50,000. When the insurance was taken out, not only insured the life of Gregg Smart, who was the owner of the policy, but also insured his wife. Should she die, he would be the recipient of $50,000, and we would still keep the insurance on him also.
Now, the spouse rider on Pamela Smart, did that ever change?
It was later converted to her own policy.
And when did that conversion take place?
Approximately January 23rd, 1990.
And what would have to happen in order to convert it from a spouse term rider to their own policy?
The basic reasons people do it is so they get cash value in their policies. If she had retained it under Gregg's policy, she wouldn't have any cash value of it. That's basically why the reason they do it. And Gregg Smart would have to have known about this because he was the owner of the policy, of the original policy.
Now, in June '89, when Pamela Smart, the spouse term rider, were any signatures required by her in order to have that benefit, or were there any signatures on the application?
The original application had to require signatures of both parties.
And in switching it over to her own policy in January 1990, did that require signatures?
Yes, both parties again, because he was the owner of the policy, he had to agree to the conversion.
Now, is this $50,000 a fixed sum?
Yes, it is.
And what's it based on? How do you get the $50,000 personal life insurance?
Basically, it goes by the age of the applicant, what he's willing to pay as a premium, and basically his health.
Now, besides the $50,000 personal life insurance, was there any other insurance policy of Gregg Smart you're aware of?
Being an employee of Metropolitan Life, he was also eligible for group life insurance. And he had $90,000 worth of group insurance with us.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what you mean by group life insurance?
Most large corporations employ when they hire someone, they automatically guarantee them a certain amount of term group insurance. And usually it's based on what you make. Now, in our company, what we do is, let's say you've made $50,000 a year. The company also gives you the option of asking, do you want coverage 1, 2, 3, 4 times your salary? And you pay for that benefit depending on how many times you choose. If you chose, if your salary was $50,000 and you chose coverage 2 times, upon death, you would get $100,000.
Now, when did this group policy when was it first started for Gregg Smart?
Basically, the coverage starts when the party is hired with the company, and that would have been October 24th, 1988.
At that time, do you know who the beneficiary was?
At that time, it was the beneficiary was William Smart, our insured's father.
Now, did that beneficiary ever change?
Yes, it did.
Can you tell us what it changed?
Change of beneficiary was completed on August 24th, 1989, naming Pamela Smart, relationship spouse, as beneficiary to the group coverage.
Now, was there any requirement for Pamela Smart signing forms in order to be beneficiary of this group policy?
No.
Now, you said that in order to determine how much insurance an employee would have, you would have to select a particular option of how much times his salary would be selected. In this case, do you know what was selected by Gregg Smart?
In October of '88, he completed a company options form, and he requested that we pay him 3 times his annual salary.
And when was this form completed by Gregg Smart?
I believe October 16, 1988. I'm sorry, 1989.
Now, would this form require any signatures of Pamela Smart?
No.
Once this form is filled out and someone were to die, how then is it determined how much insurance the individual will get?
In Gregg Smart's case, since he was an agent, he had also a salary, also commission, and basically what the company would have to do is look back to what he made in commissions and his salary the prior year, use that figure and basically multiply it by 3. They do round it off.
So before you determine how much the insurance would be, you first have to determine how much Gregg Smart had made the previous year.
Correct.
Now, when you say make the previous year, are we talking about a tax year or a fiscal year?
Tax year tax year will be the tax year for 1989, not a fiscal year.
And once that amount of money is determined, it's times 3, and that's the amount of money which is provided to the beneficiary.
Correct. Basically round it off, so it's a lump sum figure.
Now, do you know when claims benefits, whoever filed in this case, requested benefits?
I believe a notice was sent out to the beneficiary advising that that Gregg Smart did have group benefits. Let's see. On May 9th, 1990, the company sent a request out telling that he did have coverage.
Why would the company send a request out to a beneficiary?
So obviously, some people don't realize they have coverage.
And what is sent along with this notice?
Basically, a note of condolences and a request that a form be signed by the beneficiary in a return of the policy. And upon receipt of those documents, the company would then entertain a claim.
Do you know when those documents were forwarded back to your office?
I don't know the exact date, but they were completed on 5/14/90 and returned to us. We probably got them within a couple of days after that.
Now, this is the $90,000 group insurance policy.
Correct.
And do you know when the personal insurance policy claims were filed?
May 8th, 1990.
Now, was the $90,000 ever paid out in this case?
The $90,000 was paid out approximately May 31st. Our policy was not paid out because the life insurance policy wasn't paid out because it was issued within, the insured had died within 2 years of issue, and we were conducting normal inquiries, but the group was paid out approximately 5/31/90.
So it's normal in the group, personal life insurance, if the insured dies within 2 years, to do a medical history check.
Correct.
before it's paid
Yes.
out. Now, how would a beneficiary know, or what would a beneficiary have to know in order to know what the insurance would be in this group life insurance?
Well, basically, we don't issue a physical contract on the group policy. What he would have to know is what the person or the Metropolitan employee made the prior year, and he would have to have knowledge of the option forms that the employee completed, whether he wanted 1, 2, or 3 times his salary.
I have no further questions.
Thank you for waiting a second, sir. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
As I understand it, there's 2 different policies here. One's a group, and I caught that word. The first one called a life, a whole life,
Personal life insurance.
personal life. All right, now that first one is $50,000, correct, personal life?
The personal life is $50,000.
Okay, so I could get a chart, but let's just pretend I have a chart. Personal life, $50,000, and the beneficiary, Pam in this case, would have signed for it,
Correct.
okay? That's $50,000, if the signature is accurate, that's $50,000 she would know about, right?
Correct.
Okay. And at the point she signs it, isn't it? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now the $90,000 is sort of like comes with the job, is that correct?
A wife, probably a wife might know that he has grouping coverage, but they wouldn't particularly know it's the exact amount. They may just, maybe a general concept that, yes, I'm covered by the company under some group, but even an individual working for the company won't know the specific amount at any one time, because I don't think anyone knows particularly their salary for last year. The equation may not be readily available to the employee.
Okay, basically, let me just see if I understand what you're saying, is that a person and/or a spouse or parents or anybody might know he's covered by this group thing, but to know the actual benefit that would be paid out at death, you have to know the formula, as well as know the specific amount of money made on salary, as well as know the commissions for the previous year.
Absolutely right. It's a figure that's probably available, but you wouldn't know the exact amount. As the personal life policy has it right on the face of the policy, $50,000. But a group, you would probably know that you're covered, but you wouldn't specifically know the amount.
Okay, so if you wouldn't know the amount of the group specifically, you certainly wouldn't know the amount if you added the group to the personal together, because one of the 2 numbers of that is the group, the total of the 2.
You could be assured of the personal life policy, but you probably would not know the group or the addition of both. You probably would not know.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
No further questions, Chairman. Clear voice, would you please state your name so that everyone in the jury can hear and spell your last name for the stenographer?
Norman Katner, K-A-T-N-E-R.
Mr. Katner, Dr. Katner, I believe, is that correct?
Yes.
Where do you live?
10 Blueberry Lane, Rye, New Hampshire.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
2.
What is your professional background?
I'm an educator.
And what degrees do you hold?
BS in elementary education, MA in supervision and instruction, and a doctorate degree in education administration.
And where are you currently employed?
I'm currently retired and working as a consultant.
And before you retired, where were you working?
I was superintendent of schools, the school administrative unit number 21 in Hampton.
Did you know Pamela Smart?
Yes.
Is she in the courtroom?
Pardon?
Is she in the courtroom?
Yes.
Could you point her out, please? Now, can you explain to the members of the jury what ASU 21 is?
School administrative units were formed in 1917 as the result of soldiers from New Hampshire being inducted into the service, not able to pass the literacy test. The school administrative unit takes from 1 to 14 individual school districts and handles the business affairs at all for those particular schools. In SAU 21, located in Hampton, there are 6 school districts: Southampton, Seabrook, Hampton Falls, Hampton, Northampton, and the Winnicott district, all separate and independent school districts. It was our function to order whatever they had to have, to pay for those items ordered, to handle their payroll, to negotiate their contracts with the teachers and other employee organizations, to set up the agendas for each of the 6 school boards that had meetings, to provide them with legal services, to set up their annual district meetings, at which time the budgets were voted on. In general, all business affairs of the individual districts were processed through the school administrative unit office.
Where was the school administrative office for SAU 21?
Where was it located?
Yes.
It was directly across from the Winnicott High School.
And were you familiar with the media center of SAU 21?
Yes.
And where was that located?
That was located in the basement of the school administrative unit building.
And what was your responsibilities as superintendent of SAU 21? If you could brief.
There's no relevance, so we all know the superintendent of schools does.
What is the relevance?
Just trying to lay the background around the foundation for this witness's testimony.
Seems to me you're not familiar with what a
All right,
superintendent
I'll
does, generally speaking.
I'll go on, Your Honor. Now, how was it that you knew Pamela Smart?
I employed Pamela Smart, I believe, on August 22nd, 1988, to, in a twofold position. Number one, to run, direct the media center, and at the same time, to move more heavily into public relations for the SAU 21, handling the PR or developing a program in public relations for the SAU 21.
Can you tell us what governing bodies there are for SAU 21?
Governing body of SAU 21, like all SAUs, is all of the board members of the component districts. And when it comes in SAU 21's case, that was 22 board members with 66 weighted votes.
When you say 66 weighted votes, that means 3 votes per member?
There is a formula by which school boards get 3 votes, and then based upon the number of teachers, get additional.
I gotta stop so I don't get a copyright, but I don't really understand what this has to do with the, like, I understand that they gotta get a basis, but it's like, all right, he's the superintendent of the school. Great. Why do we care about these votes? I mean, maybe if we keep watching, we'll know, but just move on. Get to the trial. Who cares about that? Or maybe people do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being judgmental and closed-minded. Who knows?
Votes up to a maximum in our district, in our SAU of 22, or 19, excuse me.
So this board of 22 members consists of representatives from all the school boards.
The joint board consists of all the representatives of all the component district school boards, correct?
Now, besides yourself as superintendent, do you have any assistant, did you have any assistant superintendents when you were working at SAU 21?
Yes.
Would you like to respond, Your Honor? I'm just trying to get the names and players for the jury, so when they hear the names later.
All right.
Did you have any assistants at that time?
Yes.
Who were they?
Fred Engelbach was assistant superintendent for business. Leon Worthley was assistant superintendent for curriculum.
Now, besides the 22-member SAU board that met, can you tell the members of the jury what the Administrative Operations Committee was?
Because of the size of a joint board and because by law they were only required to meet twice a year, prior to my arrival, it was decided that each board would appoint or elect a representative to an Administrative Operations Committee that then would meet between joint board meetings with the superintendent to develop agendas, to advise the superintendent. They had no legislative authority, but they were instrumental in creating the agendas for the joint board meetings.
And who would attend these Administrative Operations Committee meetings?
Normally, one representative from each of the 6 school districts, myself, Leon Worthley at times, and Fred Engelbach at times, depending on what the issues were.
And were you required to attend as part of your job as superintendent or to oversee these meetings?
Yes.
Now, calling your attention to this, excuse me, let me back up 1 second. Where were these meetings normally held?
Meetings were normally held in the conference room at the SAU office in Hampton.
And where is that conference room as you walk into the building?
As you walk in to the front door, you would go downstairs to your right, upstairs, straight ahead, and as you go up the stairs to the next level, it would be directly to your right.
So it's on the upstairs, is that correct?
Right.
Calling your attention to the spring of 1990. Was there any Administrative Operations Committee meetings in April?
In April,
Yeah.
there was one scheduled for and held on April 5th. There was another one held on April 12th.
Did you attend the April 5th meeting?
No, I did not.
You all right? You okay?
Yeah.
I thought I saw a little discomfort. Did you attend the meeting on April 12th?
Yes.
And do you know what the reason for the April 12th meeting was?
The reason for the April 12th meeting basically was a continuation of the April 5th meeting, at which time we did not complete all of the agenda setting items for the joint board meeting to be held on May 1st. So on April 12th, the items were finished. There were a multitude of items. One dealt with revamping the media center in the basement to accommodate the staff on the upper floor, the business staff on the upper floor. I can't tell you whether it was on I believe it was on the 12th that we also discussed a proposal by the Winnicott Board to have Mrs. Smart teach a class in the high school the following September.
Now, was Ms. Smart required to represent herself at that meeting?
No.
How do those meetings normally function?
The AOC meeting.
That's correct.
Normally, the chairman calls there's an agenda prior to the meeting. The chairman of the AOC calls the meeting to order, and then we would proceed to go down through the items listed on the agenda.
Now, besides this course that might be taught by the defendant, was there any pay raises discussed that evening for anybody?
There was a pay raise on the agenda for, you have to understand, the agenda was for the 5th. We didn't finish it on the 5th, so it carried over to the 12th. So on the agenda for the 5th was a pay raise, but it was acted upon on the 12th.
And when the pay raise is
What is the point? Am I just am I the only one not getting the point to any of this? I mean, it like flashbangs. This has to be a foundational, like, witness, because this has nothing to do with any of that. We're talking about pay raises and this and that and votes and how it was built and yada yada yada. Like, get to the point. And especially with this being so short, like this video being so short, I'm not seeing it. It kind of seems like a waste of time at the moment.
Acted upon, is that acted upon in the general session of the Administrative Operations Committee?
That depends. If it's, usually pay raises are held in executive session.
What does that mean?
That means that the board excludes people from the meeting who do not have a vested interest in that particular topic. Under the provision of the Open Meetings Act, goes into executive session, discusses it, does not necessarily take action, and then comes back out and takes action on whatever personnel item that it might have discussed.
Now, did you have any discussion, let me back that up. On April 12th, 1990, was Pamela Smart at the meeting that night?
Yes.
And where was that meeting?
That meeting was in the conference room at the SAU 21 office.
Now, besides Pamela Smart, were the 6 board members or representatives from the different school boards present?
I'm not sure that all 6 were, but there was a majority, which in this case is 5.
And besides the representatives and the board members and yourself, who else was there?
Leon Worthley and Fred Engelbach.
Now, is there anybody else besides the defendant at this meeting from the general school employee roles?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Did you have any discussions with the defendant on that day as to whether or not she should be at that meeting?
I really cannot answer that. I believe I have a recollection of advising Pam at lunchtime that it was not necessary for her to attend.
Why would it not be necessary for her to attend?
Well, most of the items in those particular meetings were dealt with by 6 board members. They're only recommendations. They're not anything that's binding on any of the boards or on the joint board as a whole. And usually, about the only time we had non-board members and or non-administrative staff members would be if we invited the teachers in to discuss the calendar, which was required by the contract. So very rarely, I would imagine, in all the joint board meetings we had, which must have been in 6 years, probably around 15, we probably had 3 to 4 SAU employees attend those meetings.
Now, do you know how late the meeting went on April 12th, approximately?
I'm assuming that it went late because there was a lot of business to conduct that was carried over from the 5th. Usually the meetings would end at 10 o'clock by virtue of a board member indicating they were going to end at 10. I believe that meeting went later. How much later, I can't recall. It would be in the minutes of the meeting.
Now, after April 12th, were there any other meetings in the spring of 1990?
Joint board meeting on May 1st.
Now, just to distinguish, the joint board meeting is the board you referred to as the 22 members?
Yes.
And
who takes action upon those items that were prepared on April 5th and April 12th.
so the April 5th and April 12th meetings make recommendations.
Those are the agenda setting meetings for the joint board, yes.
Did you attend the meeting on on May 1st, 1990?
Yes,
Was the defendant present at that meeting?
yes.
Did you have any conversations with the defendant prior to her attendance at the meeting on May 1st?
Yes.
Can you tell us what that conversation was?
It was on the morning of May 1st.
Can you tell us what the substance of that conversation was and who was present?
A decision had been made and discussed. Well, I should say a decision had been made. A discussion had taken place relative to utilizing more space in the basement for the business operations which were upstairs on the high floor. That meant that the media operation would have to diminish its space to some extent. Mr. Engelbach had been working on that. Our agendas by board policy had to be out 7 days in advance of May 1st. However, the final drawings for the particular revision in the basement were mailed on Friday preceding the 30th. That might have been the 27th. All right. And on Monday, the 30th of April, Mr. Engelbach came to me and indicated that I better have a meeting with Mrs. Smart because whereas she had been in agreement with giving up the space, she was now, and I believe the word he used to me was reneging. So I scheduled a meeting for the morning of May 1st to go over what that was all about.
Can you tell us who was at that meeting on the Monday, on the morning of May 1st?
Pam Smart, Fred Engelbach, Leon Worthley, Bruce Casassa, who was chairman of the joint board, and myself.
Can you tell us to the best of your recollection what happened at that meeting?
I think Mr. Engelbach pointed out that it had been agreed upon and the material had gone out to the board members on the preceding Friday, and that now Mrs. Smart didn't agree with what had been presented to the joint board via the mail. And I recall during the discussion, Pam indicated that, and these may not be the exact words, but that she would be going that night in the event anyone asked her questions, she would have to answer them.
Is that a normal procedure where employees from SAU 21 would be available at these board meetings to answer questions?
In the 6 years I was there, probably 3 times SAU employees had appeared before the joint board meeting, but then in those particular instances, when the superintendent had indicated to the AOC that they would be there to discuss a particular program or a change in program.
Did you or any of your assistants invite Mrs. Smart to attend and speak at that meeting?
Not to my knowledge.
And when she said that she would be available at the meeting or go to the meeting to answer any questions, what was your response?
I believe I said to her, Pam, you do what you have to do tonight and I'll do what I have to do tomorrow.
What did you mean by that?
I meant that I would call her in and discuss with her the protocol of dealing directly with a joint board rather than dealing through the administrative structure that had been created for that purpose.
Why would that bother you that you could go and talk?
I don't object to our opinion. Unless he expressed it.
I'm sorry?
Unless the man expressed it, it's relevant, it's just an opinion, thought.
Want to respond?
I'll let you go on the questions. Did you go to the meeting that night, Dr. Kantner?
Yes,
And was Pamela Smart there?
yes,
Did she speak out?
no.
I don't have any questions.
Excellent, Doctor. As I understand it, there were, between April and the beginning of May, there were 3 meetings, April 5th, April 12th, and May 1st. Is that correct?
I believe that, yes.
Okay, and at least one of these was a carryover from April 5th. April 5th, you didn't finish, and some of the agendas went on.
Went to April 12th.
Okay. And during these meetings, there were at least 3 things that would have a lot to do with Pamela Smart, is that correct? Her salary. That was,
As was everyone else's.
okay,
Do you want me to explain that the Administrative Operations Committee recommends all salaries to the joint board, so it wasn't only Pam's salary that was being discussed, it was the 2 assistant superintendents, my own, and those who are employed in the SAU.
We could just have a moment, sir. Her particular salary, there was a separate item on the agenda, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, separate from all these other employees. Okay, why was that?
Because she occupied a somewhat different category. There were the certified salaries, and there were the non-certified salaries, non-certified being your accounts payable clerks, payroll clerks, et cetera. And Pam was kind of an in-between type of thing. It really didn't fall under administration. It didn't fall on the salary schedule, so we had to set salaries for that by action of the AOC. We would recommend, and the AOC would respond. With the rest of the salaries for non-certified staff, they were on a schedule, and we would discuss the schedule with the AOC, and they would usually make the recommendation based upon that salary schedule.
Okay, now, if I understand that, all your other non-certified employees for the whole SAU was one motion, one sort of rate structure, salary structure.
Okay. For the employees of the SAU.
Right.
Not all non-certified employees of the SAU, okay? Only those that worked in the SAU office. Well, it's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Because the SAU negotiates salaries for the balance of the districts. So the only ones that the AOC deals with are those that were employed directly within that building. Okay?
Still don't understand you, but I could get past this one, okay?
All right.
At these meetings, or meeting, whichever it was, there were two salary proposals. One was for Pam Smart all by herself, and the other was for a bunch of other people all together.
3, and the 2 assistants.
Okay. So her salary was a separate item on the agenda.
Right.
Okay, then there was, told you I could get us past that.
Okay, good.
There was also the question of the media center, correct? Changing the actual place or size of the media center?
Yes.
That was an issue there too.
Yes.
That would be the conditions under which she worked, really, where she worked, how much room she had.
Yes.
There's a third thing that had to do with her, and if I remember correctly, she had a special proposal, even though she wasn't a teacher, she wanted to teach a course at Winnicott, I think, one of the schools.
Yes.
There were 3 items on those agendas that had particularly to do with Pamela Smart. Her own salary, the size and location of where she worked, and whether or not she would be teaching in the school on special, right?
Right.
Now, you talked to us about a time when you spoke to Pam on May 1st, correct?
Yes.
And at that point in time, she indicated that she thought about the changes in the media center and was no longer in agreement.
No, I don't think, I believe that was discussed earlier. I believe that was discussed with me anyway on Monday, the 30th of April, after the plans for the revision have been mailed out on Friday.
Okay, well, that's what I meant to talk about, I'm sorry. At that point in time, this is one day before May 1st, okay? She comes to you and says,
No,
you come to her,
no.
sorry.
My assistant superintendent came to me and said, we better do something because Mrs. Smart is reneging on going along with this proposal.
Okay,
That's when I called the meeting for Tuesday morning.
okay. Now, the reason when your assistant principal said he's reneging is because shortly before this, there had been a meeting where Pam said she would go along with these proposed changes.
My assistant principal is an assistant superintendent with a civil engineering degree, and he had laid out the plans in the basement relative to maximize the use and to maximize the space. And so he had worked with Pam very closely on that. How many times they had met and talked, I have no idea.
Okay, but you know, or you did know anyway, I hope you still know, that as close to this time as a week before, she had agreed with his recommendations.
Yes.
Okay, so a week before April 30th would have been.
Well, no, wait, I'm not sure. Those are questions you would have to ask Mr. Engelbach. I am not sure. It was a week before or 3 days before. Exactly when. I know that the plans were finalized and sent out to the joint board members on that Friday preceding the 30th. I'm sure that an agreement had to be reached prior to that time, but exactly when, I do not know.
Okay, do you recall, and I appreciate this was a year ago, do you recall talking to a Detective Charles from the National Police at some point in time?
Nashua?
Oh, I'm sorry, there it was.
Yes, I do.
Do you recall telling him that Pam and your assistant had talked about this about a week before, and that was the amount of time?
If I said that to him, that's what I said, right about a week.
Well, I'm just asking
Yeah.
if you did, because I'm gonna show you a report on this page 412. And again, I'm just asking you if this helps to remember. If you don't remember, say you don't remember. I should tell you where it is, I'm sorry. If I may. I'm pointing down about a third of the way down the page.
I've tried to let this play and understand the point. There's only been just a couple sentences where I'm like, all right, wow, we're about to get to where this ties in. Maybe I'm just missing it. I don't know if you guys just caught that last closed captioning, because this whole trial would be like, is it Pam or Pen? Closed captioning just said Pan. So now
It's okay. I mean, I'm good with either one. So
Yeah.
all I can think of is The Office, where he's like, Pam, 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 Pam.
I think it's Step Brothers when they're in that job interview. Are you saying Pam or Pen?
Or Pam. Yeah.
Pam. But, all right, we got 20 minutes left. Hopefully, I mean, we got to be getting to the next witness soon, because we don't have much time. And then I looked for the next video, and no, they jumped to somebody else. So he's got to be.
Like, it's damn Pam.
Damn Pam. So yeah, this guy's got to be finishing up, and then we're gonna get to Gregg Smart's coworker. So
Great.
just bear with me. He should be finishing up soon.
That would seem logical. I'm not sure I spoke to him on August 10th at that number. I spoke with a detective on August 10th.
Okay. Does that help you remember?
I would,
Talk to him. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get when Pam agreed to these changes. Was that about a week before?
and it says that this was about 1 week prior to May 1st.
Okay, and again, a week prior to May 1st would have been the 23rd, 24th.
It would have been that week of sometime, probably during the week of April 23rd.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
When, I don't know.
Now, last previous meeting of the board had been, what, the 12th?
The last previous meeting of the Administration Operation Committee had been April 12th.
Okay. Now, between the 12th and the 23rd and 24th is 11 or 12 days, correct?
That would do it.
Still with me, okay?
Yeah.
So 11 or 12 days after that meeting on the 12th, Pamela Smart was saying she didn't have any problem with the media center.
That's my understanding.
Oh, nothing further.
Couple questions, Jim. Now, you talked about, Doctor, the reutilization of the space in the SAU 21 building, is that correct?
Yes.
It wasn't just the media center that was going to be affected, it was the whole building, is that correct?
Well, it was going, the whole building would have been impacted. The space in the basement had to be reconstructed to provide offices for those people performing financial functions. If you visited that building, you understand all financial functions are performed on the upper floor, where it's open access to anyone and everyone who walks in, which is somewhat difficult when performing those functions.
Was there anybody affected from the financial part of your building who was at that meeting?
No.
Now, you also testified about, on cross-examination, about the salary that was considered at the April 12th meeting. Would that be something that was discussed in the executive session?
I think it was. I believe the minutes would indicate that it was discussed in executive session.
Would the defendant been part of that executive session?
No.
No further questions.
If I just have a moment. Nothing further, thank you, Jess.
Would you please state your name so that everyone in the jury could hear? Would you please spell your last name for the report?
Bruce Doobie, D-U-B-E, and I work for Metropolitan Insurance out of Nashua,
Where do you live, Mr. Doobie?
Hudson, New Hampshire.
And you said you work for Metropolitan Life?
Yes,
How long have you been working for Metropolitan Life?
just about 3 years.
Are you married?
Yes,
Any children?
yes, 3.
And what is your job at Metropolitan Life?
I'm the associate manager for Metropolitan,
How long have you been associate manager?
about 1.5 years.
Do you know Gregory Smart?
Yes.
How did you know Gregory Smart?
Greg and I both started probably about a month apart. And then after he was there a couple of months, we started the year 1989. We worked side by side together. We did like a joint venture for the year working on different cases.
And when did you start working?
I started in October of 88.
Is that the same time Greg started?
He started around November.
And how long did you do this joint partnership together?
1 full year,
And what point did that stop?
the end of 89, December of 89.
So January of 1990, you were doing what?
Went on our own because I got promoted to the associate manager position for Metropolitan.
And you both worked out of the Nashua office?
Yes,
And do you still work out of the Nashua office?
yes.
Now, does Metropolitan Life offer any courses for its salesmen?
Yeah, they offer, when you first go into Met, they send you away to what they call a career success school, which is the first, once you're in the Met, they send you away for a week where they give you initial training into insurance. Once you're there for a year and you have a certain amount of production, they'll send you away to another school called intermediate school, which is business planning and such.
Okay. Now, I don't think I made this clear. You and Greg, when you started out, were salesmen,
Yes,
essentially selling life insurance.
correct.
Now, in the spring of 1990, did you attend any such courses with Metropolitan Life?
Yeah, we had a business school that Metropolitan sent us to Warwick for 1 week.
When you say Warwick, you mean Warwick,
Warwick, Rhode Island.
And what was the week that you went to Warwick, Rhode Island?
It was the last week of April.
Do you know the dates?
I believe it's like the 23rd to the 28th.
And what day did you arrive? The Sunday, the Monday?
I arrived on a Sunday evening because I had gone down to Pennsylvania for the weekend and I dropped my wife off there for the week. So I met Greg at the hotel. It was probably about 8 o'clock on Sunday evening.
And did you and Greg have separate rooms, share a room?
We shared a room.
And for that following week, how long were you in Rhode Island?
From Sunday evening until we split up on Friday afternoon about 1 o'clock.
And each day, what was going on?
We'd get up in the morning, we'd go out to breakfast.
Well, I guess what I mean is you taking the courses?
Yes,
Okay. And were you present for the entire week?
yes,
And was Gregg Smart
Yes.
present for the entire week?
Yep.
I'd like to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 43. In fact, you can mark this as the full exhibit. It's been agreed by times. I ask you to take a look at this. Recognize this?
yes.
What do you recognize it to be?
Well, Metropolitan gives all the reps at the beginning of every year what they call it's a weekly and a year-long planner. It helps you to, on tax end, number one, let you keep track of your mileage. The second of all, it keeps you track of all your appointments throughout the year. And you mark down how you do on the appointments, whether you have, if you sold a policy, whether you have to reschedule to go back and such.
Are you required to keep such a plan for Metropolitan Life?
They advise you to, it's not required. That one particular year, Metropolitan wanted everybody to mail in a weekly copy of the schedule so management can stay on top to make sure you were doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then correct any problems you may have in the selling areas.
And do you know whose state plan this is?
If I look at What's included here is what they call XO5s, which tells you about the different policies sold in the house. And everybody's assigned an agency when you go to Metropolitan. That's Gregg's agency on these pieces of paper here. I can tell Gregg's writing, and there's a couple of cases Gregg and I had carried over from 1989 into 1990 that we worked together on still.
The writing that's inside these plans, do you recognize that writing as Gregg Smart's?
Yes.
When was the last time you saw this plan?
It was probably, the day that we had found out that morning about what had happened.
And when you found out that Gregg had been killed, what did you do?
I think everybody in the office was a little bit upset. We took it upon ourselves to rope off the area where Gregg had sat so nobody would go in and touch anything.
And where was the state planner at that time?
It was on his desk.
And you know what happened to that day planner?
It was kept on his desk until the Derry police came by and picked it up. They went through everything on his desk.
And you gave it to the Derry Police Department?
I believe I did.
Now, besides Gregg's trip to April of 1990, besides Gregg's trip in April to Rhode Island in 1990, were you aware of any absences that Gregg had other absences Gregg had in the late winter or spring of 1990?
He had gone away on a ski trip up to Canada with some friends of his from Florida that had flown up.
You know when that trip was?
It was sometime during the month of February.
I have a few questions.
Just a few questions, Ron. Morning, Mr.
Morning.
You waited a long time.
Yeah.
When you have an appointment out in the field, they don't always happen on time, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, would you tell people in the jury things that might happen, interfere with an appointment happening on time?
Well, sometimes the client's not there or the client's running late, or you could be running late from the last appointment you had because, you kind of judge them out about probably an hour to an hour and a half of time to spend with a client. Sometimes it runs over, sometimes it runs shorter.
Okay, so the time will vary depending on the person and how many questions they have and how much they talk and stuff?
Correct.
Okay. So when you have an appointment, you can never really be sure, one, if it's going to be kept, and two, how long it's going to go. Is that correct?
You can estimate some time.
Right, but you'd never be sure.
Right.
And on those appointments there, it says when they starting time for the appointments, it doesn't say when it's going to get over.
Right.
Just one more thing I want to ask you about. When you were down in Warwick, there was an evening when a young woman sort of threw herself at Gregg or came on to him to some degree. Is that true?
Well, I'm not sure if she threw herself.
That was the wrong word, I'm sorry. Acted in a way that would indicate she was attracted to him, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay. Gregg resisted
Right.
that, correct? He didn't have anything to do with that one.
Right.
Did he tell you the reason he resisted was because he was in love with his wife? If he told.
I think I think that at times if there's an opportunity arises with anybody that some woman, is attracted to you. In his case, I think the more he thought about it, I think he changed his mind. Nothing happened.
Okay. He didn't do
anything.
Didn't do anything
Right.
to that woman, even though he had the opportunity.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Go for this question.
First, I would like to talk about her sad, like her just side pony looks so sad. It's just sad. It's like one strand of hair.
I want to know where that big ass bow Brit hair clip thingy.
Oh, I said it yesterday. I took her bows and I threw them in the trash because they're for 5-year-olds, not for, adults. Well, she's not Dora the Explorer, okay? She's not Caillou's sister. She doesn't need a bow. Just saying.
Bows are fine. They were more popular back then.
Well, her bows were like the bows that I had on my white frilly socks growing up in the 90s, okay? You just don't put, it's just, come on, get out of here with that.
But this is in the 90s.
It is in the 90s, I know, but I feel like only because like she hasn't turned around yet, so I couldn't like actually see her face. All I saw was those dang bows. And the bows were pissing me off. So I was just like, trash them. Just throw them in the trash. They're just kid bows, you know? She shouldn't be wearing those.
That's why we had to have this on the bottom.
Bow alert, yeah. Well, she
Bow alert.
also, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures or if anybody has looked up pictures of her, but she literally dressed like, you know, well, I guess, I mean, that was the style back then. It was very grunge, you know, Nirvana type stuff. Y'all grifters. What does that mean?
Y'all grifters.
Grifters for what? Pam's bows?
Oh, yeah, that's what they meant. Y'all grifters worse than Pam. We're worse than Pam. We're worse than Dan. We like to make it rhyme.
That's fine. I'll be worse than Pam and Dan. And I'll be worse than Pam's bows and Dan. I love it.
Brad says he doesn't ever remember seeing an adult with a big bow in their hair during the 80s, 90s.
Oh, that's Flash Fan. That's why.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It has chicken in it, so that's Flash Fan. That's
it. Her hair reminds me of what my mother used to do to me when I was in primary school. No style, just blah.
Yeah, basically. But she's very like Nirvana grunge style. She's got the, you know, what is it? The flannel shirt on. She got the ripped jeans, t-shirts on, stuff like that. Very 90s style. But the bows, I don't know. The bows are too much.
Well, apparently the court thought the same. The court thought the same thing because they were like, "No, take it out."
Oh.
Well, I'm glad I actually decided to keep on going and get that done and over with because that was pointless. So I didn't have to do it tomorrow. But tomorrow it should be a little bit more exciting. You actually have Billy Flynn's friends testifying. So Sarah Thomas and Ralph Welch, the ones who turned the 3 conspirators in, they're going to be testifying. So that's about an hour and 8 minutes. Then I'm going to go ahead to the next one, and that's going to be the FBI tape recording contractor. He's going to take the stand. So they should be more interesting than what that just was. I mean, but I'm pretty sure I could stare at paint dry, and that would be more interesting and make more sense.
Well, because that was the life insurance guy, right?
Yeah. So the first guy, which I thought I figured that they would ask a lot more questions to him. So the first guy was the life insurance investigator, Daniel Howell, or however you say his last name. Second guy was the superintendent with the school district, Dr. Norman Katnier. And then the third guy was Gregg Smart's coworker, Bruce W. Or Doobie, not W, sorry. Doobie.
Doobie?
Doobie.
Well, that's another whole meaning, but we won't get into that tonight.
No. And this
Mr. Doobie.
This is where I end the streams because the chat tends to get a little out of hand.
Yeah, I have no filter, by the way, so you know.
So anybody that watches this on
replay, Bri. He knows him. He knows.
I know what you mean.
Oh, all right. I didn't know. I mean, you're younger than me, so I don't know.
I know what you mean. But anybody that watches this on replay, we are not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the chat.
Yeah, we're all ridiculous.
But also, no need to apologize. I know how you guys are. You guys keep it fun. I like it. Yeah. If you guys didn't act the way that you did, I would be disappointed.
You should be like, hello? Anybody there?
Yeah.
So come and join Discord because once we end this, I'm gonna stream 1 or 2 episodes of Handmaid's Tale in AJ's Discord. So come and have fun.
Yeah. the warning, sometimes our Discords get a little unhinged, because if you think this is unhinged in the live chat, we don't have to follow YouTube rules over there. So,
well, actually, I mean, this has been kind of, I mean, I feel like I'm more wild with your mom.
Oh yeah, no, I've actually, she even made a comment earlier. She's like, you've actually been pretty mild.
Yeah.
Colleen, thank you for being in here. We really appreciate it. Just so you know, I did text my mom. She went ahead and subscribed to your channel as well. So she is.
Yeah, her channel is pretty cool. It's kind of like what Valhalla does with his like baby goats.
Oh yeah.
He like streams like he puts like a camera in the baby goat pen outside like in his barn and like streams live like what the baby goats are doing. That's basically what Colleen's YouTube channel is. She has like cameras outside and they, you know, it's just her live horses. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that is really cool. So yeah, I haven't had the chance to go check it out, obviously in here. But as soon as I get done, I'll check it out. But thank you all so much. I know we went a little bit longer than what we were supposed to. And I know that I've completely threw the schedule about as off the rails as I possibly could. I need my camera.
I mean, my whole week is messed up now, Carmen. Thanks.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go to the bank tomorrow. So thanks.
You're welcome. I apologize for nothing. Camera, focus.
You should apologize for nothing.
I apologize for absolutely nothing. But we'll be back tomorrow. So 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Central time, 4 p.m. Mountain time, 69 p.m. Pendulum swinging volcano vagina time. Go to a doctor if it burns, whatever that means. Alrighty.
You said pendulum baker time.
No, I said pendulum swings vagina volcano time if that burns. Go. But yes, also I don't know what baker's time is. I guess I gotta figure it out. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It's the only way that we can get AJ back and find her. Right now, again, she is still missing. Most likely, she is, in a dungeon in a hole somewhere with somebody telling her put the lotion on the skin, or she's getting the hose again. So this is the way that we find AJ. Mommy, where are you? But all right, guys. So I will see you guys tomorrow, or I won't.
I'll see everyone in Discord after this.
Bye.
See y'all in Discord. Bye.
Guilty as the jury calls, echoes rising through the halls. Listen, Pam Smart, history calls, another name upon the wall. Stories fade, but lessons stay. Truth and consequence on display. A darker path that led astray. Like and subscribe before you go. Grateful you joined me for the show. Like and subscribe before you go.